I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but and not Marquelon muting himself when I told him do the intro. You said mute.
I've been talking the whole time. Y'all can hear me?
No, Marquelon, I played the intro video and then you come in talking.
Well, I couldn't see the intro. Anyway, I'm here now. I'm starting again.
Okay. Right.
This is a common error today. You know, blame it on my heart, not the game. In my head in the dark. All right. Once again, this is Marquelon Sigler, one of your co-hosts for the House of Nerds show. As you can see, we have a fully stacked panel here today. The intro just finished playing, so we have Elle, you know, as her show calls 𝐬𝐸𝐬𝐢. We have Tar, and we have the Spoiler Kings here as well. So I know we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. I know we're going to talk Copper Drop. I know we're going to talk Picks of the Weeks. I know we're going to talk trailers. Elle, I know you said the gist, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, and I'll fill in where you need me to.
Uh-oh. I don't do filler either. No.
Yes, you do.
I
don't do the show.
That's why I like coming on here, though, because you know what? Y'all bring me great joy, for real. I was looking forward to this. So I'm back in the House of Nerds.
Not you being on a full vacation and you're like, I need to get back. I need to get back to you too.
No, for real, man. I see people go on vacation, but I'm like tired from the vacation now.
That's exactly what happens every time you go. Feeling. You drive it back and you're like, man,
I go like 9 days, 8 nights.
And
we have
we have the Spoiler Kings with us.
Hey,
from everybody? The Spoiler Kings YouTube. You guys want to talk about your channel?
Yeah. So we just a review channel. We do a lot of movies, kind of the new blockbusters. And then also we also do the newer TV shows on Thursdays. So we're live Mondays and Thursdays. Movies, Halloween, weekend blockbusters, and then the newer shows. So like Mandalorian, Bel-Air. I think tomorrow, Monday, we're doing Renfield. We're talking about Renfield and stuff.
Renfield was funny.
Yeah. So it was pretty fun. You know, and then Brian started his because of House of Nerd show, Brian started his pull list shorts. So every week he does a DC and Marvel pull list, and then he does an independent pull list, like a short video. So and those are doing really good, especially the Marvel and DC. Everyone cares about those, obviously, but yeah. So, yeah.
I have to blame you guys for getting me back into all this stuff.
Yes.
And now, because I already had like 8 boxes of comic books, and I was like, all right, I'm good. And now every week I'm bringing home another 20. Man, I had to order 3 more cases. I was like, man, I can't believe this.
Well, now he's into the independence, the independence because of House of Nerd show, which is like,
dude. I already have my pull. I told when Ambassador 2 coming out, give me Ambassador 2. I grabbed that immediately. Monarch, I'm always grabbing. Children of Black Sun is huge on my list. Little Monsters. I mean everything. So you guys have, officially made me have to read all the time. This is literally what I do. I sit there. I'm in between stores. I'm just reading comic books, throwing them aside. All the time.
He goes at least twice a week.
People ask me all the time how I read my comics. I usually block them out like 4 a day. Like I'm gonna read 4 a day from like Wednesday to like next Wednesday. That's usually how I do it. But
I have them on my nightstand, so I have like four for the, on the nightstand, and then I have 4 in the car.
Exactly.
4 in the bathroom.
4 in the bathroom. 4 on my desk, and I just go from one to the other. That's the only way to keep up.
Yeah. You got to add it. You have the fever, the comic book fever. Now that's how it is.
Like I'm watching what's coming out next week. I'm like, oh man, this will be great. I can't wait to see this thing.
Yeah, I had to slow it down because I'm at the point where I'm embarrassingly using like old like pull-up boxes because I have so much overflow.
Boxes. Yeah, that's why I like talking to you. You always come back from it. Never mind.
They're the perfect. They're the perfect size for comic book. I was like buying so many boxes, and it was to the point I was like, do I mention I need to go buy more, or should I just improvise until it feels like a good time to mention I need to go buy more boxes?
Like all those boxes.
It's funny because you know what? I got like plastic sleeves everywhere.
Right there.
Yeah. Sergio's here in spirit.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
Psych. This is my show now. I take full credit for putting you guys on the indies.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the things you guys select is amazing. So
yeah.
Well, actually, you guys, Tank mentioned that you guys would want to talk Monarch, and I hadn't read it yet, and I binged that this morning, and I freaking love it. It's so good.
Oh,
so good.
Wait, what did you say you binged, Elle? What was it again?
I haven't read it yet. I hadn't read it. Monarch.
Yeah.
Monarch. Me and Sergio got into a Monarch because I think I told her to keep doing it, keep the topic, and he was like, I don't know, man. I'm like, man, I'm rocking right the bars on Monarch, man. Especially in issue number 2. Yeah, I'm rocking.
Well, especially I moved from South Central to Seattle, so just being from that area was really cool to see it, front and center.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. So I haven't read issue 2 because I haven't had a chance to run to the comic book store. And I know like my pod, because I was on vacation last week and all this week has just been hectic because he said you need a vacation from your vacation.
Yeah,
a catch up. So I still got to read number 2 and the latest issue of the Black Sun.
That was good. Church of the Black Sun. This last issue.
Yeah, I think I went up reading that because you guys did a video on that. I think you did a copper drop on Children of the Black Sun, and I'm like, oh, I'm into that. And then I picked it up, and it was just like hooked. And then Monarch is the same thing. So, but yeah, both are pretty awesome.
I don't know. Ambassadors is great too. Issue 2 was.
I haven't gotten to Ambassadors number 2 yet, but the first one was it's 2 a month. For Ambassadors, that's how they're releasing it. Nice. And the first issue was, I said, this is my favorite book I've ever read. The little monkey boy, Jamie. I said, look at the sweet angel.
And then now they're going to another one, and I mean, you're just going to really enjoy the next issue too. So, they're definitely looking for selfless people. So it's cool. But I gotta say, I don't know who's doing the cover art. They need to hire somebody else.
That's what I said last week. Okay, so I felt like it was like I wouldn't have picked it up if I was at the comic shop, especially with the tagline on the cover, like 8 million people on Earth. I'm like, bye, I don't care. it kind of had like an Olympic feel to it, like the cover, and I said, don't care. But then like something told me like just check it out, like, and so I ended up doing it, and I was like, oh, this was hate the cover, but it was a fantastic.
What?
The cover for number 1?
The cover was not good because it didn't tell you anything. It had nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do.
I mean, but that's the testament of how good the book is. The book is good.
Yeah, but then you should hire someone else to do the cover a little bit better. I mean,
you said interior artist, get out of here.
Issue 2 was out and I didn't get it, so y'all making me mad.
You gotta hit up your shop. Like I told you, like you gotta do the angry email.
They called me. Man, hey Brian, we got your stuff. Come get it.
About like things I got my pull list. Like
I talk to my comic book guy all the time. I send him all my stuff. I say, hey, look, it comes out, to call. So Wednesday morning, it's like, hey, this is the 4 things we got for you. And then I get my 4 things and then I pick up 17 more. And then,
that's how it always goes.
I'm gonna send that email off today. I was like, hey, I just want to follow to see what's currently on my pull list to my
no, you gotta say, I just think it's kind of funny.
Oh man, that's
oh no, I was brought up in a broken house in Sergio is a reminder of how that feels for me again.
Oh man.
Thank you for that one. And Juan, we try to give as many different kind of feelings as we can to everybody.
Good and bad.
Good and bad, yeah. We want you to have the whole human experience here on the House of Nerd.
Yes, the House of Nerd, the whole human. That should be the tagline: the House of Nerd, the whole human experience.
Yes, there you go.
Tagline going forward.
Especially the bad. He said I came up in a broken home. Well, I wish I could tell you what Sergio was doing, but unfortunately, he made me promise not to. But I will say it rhymes with Mayor Tin Plants. Yeah.
I don't get it.
He's getting hair implants. He's getting hair implants, y'all.
Okay. I guess because I have hair, you know.
Never have to think about it.
No.
He's getting his armpit hairs transplanted. It's gonna have little scraggles.
That sounds like a bad dream.
Wait, so does that mean you have to put deodorant on your head then?
That's what I was just thinking.
They're putting the skin too. Oh, yeah.
Once he has that, I'll teach him how to dread it, and then we'll go from there.
That's a good idea.
I'm trying to grow that out.
And you know what? I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he does have a lot of like surface area on his head, so you probably have to use like aerosol deodorant to get all the nooks and crannies.
He pretends it's hairspray.
Hey, go get my hairspray. It's Dove.
My Dove hairspray.
My secret sports. What's it called? I don't know what kind of deodorant men use. What's the name of it? Degree. There we go.
Degree. Old Spice.
The Old Spice, man.
One time I bought Old Spice for my husband because I don't know, like whatever. And then he used it and his armpit burned red. Yeah.
Yes, they burn. Yeah. I don't do Old Spice.
Yeah, and I was like, did I just attempted murder? But
I would not have known.
Old Spice is like one of the strongest things you could put on. Like you have to have a lot of hair to be able to have a whole Old Spice. Not me. No.
You get that aftershave burn. Woo!
Exactly.
His armpits were like red. I was like, I have never seen that before.
He's just walking around like this because
you have to. It's like swollen. Like, you're like, oh my god. I'm a Dove man, so
Dove.
Speed stick. That's old school speed stick.
You guys use gel or solids? What are we doing here?
I mean, we're talking about the whole
this is what we do. You said the whole human experience.
The whole human experience.
How do you guys feel about natural deodorant?
I don't think it works well. I just gotta go and reckon to see that.
Yeah, you gotta carry it with you every couple hours.
Exactly. A special kind of funk.
Exactly.
Oh boy, y'all brought me great joy. I miss y'all for real.
Mike's an invisible solid kind of guy.
Nice.
I can only use Dove. I can't use anything else. I have like a mental block when it comes to it. Like I see other deodorants and I'm like, yeah, you guys look cool, but I've been using Dove since. And so one of my greatest fears, and I know this is gonna sound unhinged, but you guys remember when Halle Berry had like that scare in her armpit with like, and so I'm so afraid that Dove is going to be the reason I get armpit cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
I looked at that.
Oh, no, I didn't miss it because it's so Halle Berry. I'm paying attention.
I was like, what? It was like years and years ago.
That was a
but
long time.
It's always like stuck in my head that like I will know for sure it was Dove that caused it. Because I only have ever used Dove like my whole life, so
no, that's why I stick with the less strong. I don't need all that crazy stuff. That's the gel I stay away from. Just give me regular deodorant. I'm fine. I'll put it on. I'll take 2 showers if I need to. I'm not gonna.
The deodorant antiperspirant. That's what I'm on. Yeah. Deodorant antiperspirant.
Yeah, 2 for 1. That gel feels weird. It's just like it's all wet.
Yeah, like it.
Especially when you first open it, it's cold. Oh.
It wakes you up in the morning.
I never thought about that.
Okay.
Sometimes in the summer, I'll buy the spray just to get that blast of cool air.
That steam.
Put deodorant in the freezer just to feel fresher and warm.
What do you say? Lumps in the pits, definitely a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew, Juan, don't throw that up, Marquelon.
I had to. He said it.
And you said, "Oh, human experience."
You did. You know what? You're right. It feels like someone spit in your armpit. All that kink, you know.
Well, I think this topic is going to run its course.
It's just all over the place.
Okay, so Elle, do you want to do? You want to do? I can't say you want to do the copper drop.
Oh yeah, let me do the little. I guess we can do the show.
Boy.
Okay. Copper drop.
So it was the seasons have teeth. So I wasn't here. So Elle, kind of tell me the story of what led up to this. And I did read it though, thanks to you though.
Oh, what?
On air.
what do you, the story of what led to the seasons have teeth is Sergio picked something mid and my choice won.
Okay.
No, I love a good I love a good Dan Waters story, and it's, you know, creator owned story too, so I was super into that, the art style and stuff. We got the advanced reader a couple weeks back, so I did cheat and read it before I pitched it. But I really enjoyed it. Hold on, let me pull up the synopsis, unless one of you guys.
I thought I had it. Let me see if I have it.
You know where mine is in the other room.
That was my between church reading this morning.
Uh-oh. Get you something a little bit more secular next time, or non-secular. What's the one that's good?
It says Boom Studios thrilled to announce The Seasons Have Teeth, a brand new 4-issue horror series from Homesick Palace writer Dan Waters, Anthony Bourdain's Hungry Ghost artist Sebastian Cabrol. In a drab colors world, the seasons bring change. Andrew, retired conflict photographer, lives a life steeped in regret, pain, and sorrow. When the seasons arrive, each one embodies a powerful godlike creature. Everything for Andrew begins to change as he risks everything to track down spring, summer, autumn, and winter. He can't help but hope that capturing the perfect picture each will help them find his redemption, or maybe just bring back color to his world. So I did not know any of that when I started reading it. So I had to go take a look at it up.
That's cool to know that now, because I was reading. I was like, oh, this is just interesting. It gave me even, Swamp Thing vibes, because the whole the green, the red, it's like, because they're living these that you're seeing, and that's what I was grabbing at.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. I didn't get that Swamp Thing vibe. I was just like, just as I read it, I'm like, okay, we got this guy, and everybody's leaving town, and I didn't realize it was gray at first, and all of a sudden, he's like,
start seeing color.
Start seeing his color, and start seeing, he goes back to the place where him and his wife made out in their youth, and the kids were there destroying it. And this plant monster pops up. I'm like, okay, that came out of nowhere.
I mean, the monster looked like a Hellboy thing,
right?
Yeah.
And then, him, the story kind of gave me the up vibes. So, the old man lost his wife and all that stuff, and
now he's going on an adventure.
And now you're going to kick me in the balls and make me feel sad again.
Yeah, but he's like, I feel life again because I'm chasing plant monsters across the world.
But he's so disconnected from everything, and he's such a cynic. And it's like, I feel like that's like a stereotypical trope a lot of times when it comes to men of a certain age experiencing life experiences that happen at that age. But I think it works here. And I especially like that he's willing to, it's kind of it started off as like a suicide journey, basically.
Oh, really? This is why I like talking about stuff, because I was like, because it was sad. People were calling him like, well, you need to come back to work, and maybe you can come do this project for us. And it was like,
because he was lying. He was telling everybody he left already.
Yeah,
right.
He's home at a bed and breakfast, and he's still at home.
Yeah, and that became really apparent when he saw the kids, and towards the end when the kids were like going to touch the monster, like he was like afraid, but it was like, but you're there with them. They're just taking to the next step, and he's like, oh, they're fearless because they think they can live forever. But I was like, oh, so they think they can live forever, so they're doing it. You want to die, that's why you're doing it. So it's like, kind of same or different side of the same coin type of thing. But
yeah,
I thought this monster, it reminded me of a lot of Princess Mononoke. You know, I don't know, like the forest spirit kind of thing. That was the first thing that popped in my mind. Although this looks way more evil, but yeah.
And that's what I
really
felt.
it's just a cat, a giant cat.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was gonna be evil. Like, you know, to your point, when the kids were touching the monster, I was like, well, this kid's finna get got.
I thought they was gonna eat him. I literally thought they was gonna eat him, like, because the panel before they talked about, like, you know, he didn't feel anything and he didn't see anything until, you know, she bit his lip and had blood, and his blood was the only thing that really brought color to that scene. And then the next scene, the kids are doing that. I'm thinking, oh yeah, we about to get some blood, and it's about to happen. And he's gonna start seeing.
And then it turns out he's the monster the whole time.
Oh, really?
No.
The monster of his own heart, the monster of his life.
I did like the little, I mean, it's in your guys' name, Spoiler Kings, and since we've all read it, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I really did like how at the towards the end of the issue, we see his picture in the newspaper again, and I said, "Oh, you got your groove back, huh?" Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm published again." But it's really interesting too, like, because the nature of nature is like, I feel like it's really conforms to whose perspective it is, and you know, him assuming the worst of it and it turning out that it wasn't. I feel, especially like, because some people love summer, some people hate it. And so I guess depending on how you're looking at it, summer could be the antagonist in somebody's life. And so I do like that they personified the seasons like that. And I also like the setup on the title page on the inside, like how it's spring.
Yeah, spring. Yeah, I see it. Well,
I'm actually really interested in seeing what happens with summer. I think winter is going to be crazy.
Monster, the beast.
That's going to be
it's going to be the beast.
The craziest thing, because it's going to be freezing everything, and he's going to get caught up because it's going to probably be somewhere in like Russia or the Arctic or something he's going to be flying to, and it could be, that's more of a suicide mission too, because you could die in so many different ways. But yeah, no, I think this is going to be really cool. All 4 issues going to be very cool.
So I wonder what the winter monster is going to be. Something made of ice, maybe an ice
little rabbit, little white rabbit,
a fluffy bunny.
So I did have a question. Was this only going to be like a 4-issue series?
Yep, that's what the thing on Boom says. Okay. 4 issues.
Because that was my only concern. It was like towards the end, I'm like, oh, this can't be a long series, because like if each book is a different season, then like, what is issue 5 going to be about? You know, it's like,
right. So
that was my only like concern about it. But I like the short runs though. You know, nice short contained story.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's how I can justify pulling them.
What Tara said.
Yeah.
Hey man, you do what you gotta do, man. I understand. Books is crazy. $3.99, $4.99, $6.99.
I don't know. There's other things like, you know, even the illustrations. I really was feeling how everything was looking. You know, how they're doing and how detailed, and it just really like brought out like a more realness to it. I guess almost a noir feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah, and the flashback scenes, the art style really reminded me of like early '90s comics. And I think I have, and Dan Waters, I think he has like a really good handle on giving life to things that shouldn't have life. Homesick Pilots, the house being a character, Limbo. That was another one where a lot of things in the world that shouldn't have been felt alive. So I'm curious with the whole autumn fall one, just because that was intentional, not autumn or fall, but it's called autumn fall for this one. So I'm curious to see why.
I mean, it's also death. So is it bringing death to a lot of things?
But we didn't see it kill anything, but everybody's afraid of it though.
It was grass.
Yeah.
But it could be interesting because, I mean, spring is supposed to bring life. And then autumn brings death, right? So like, I'm just saying that autumn fall might be.
But it also brings pumpkin spice season.
You sound like somebody go spend half money for Starbucks.
And when it comes to being basic, the pumpkin spice cold brew is my jam.
That sounds very Seattle of you, right there.
Oh no, that's very Orange County of me. That's my roots.
Your roots. Did you just say South Central?
Oh, so I was born and raised in Orange County, but when I met my husband, I moved to South Central. So when I first moved to South Central, it was funny because he had lived there his whole life. And for me, I immediately watched South Central, Don't Be a Menace. I watched Menace to Society. I watched the movie South Central. And just to do some research, I'm like, what am I getting into here?
You picked the wrong movie.
That's the research. Oh my god! See someone on the corner.
South Central.
I was like,
better research.
When I moved over here, I was like, oh y'all, back alleys really do be alleying. Like
your husband probably shaking his head. Like, what about this?
It was funny because like my family, like back in Orange County, they would like none of them would want to come over. I'm like, it's not like the movies, y'all. Like it's actually normal. Like I walk places, like I do all kinds of stuff. Like I've never been shot. Like chill. I've never been accosted.
Yeah,
that's the Chicago thing. Yeah. To say that I've never been shot at, like that's you know, like, only a few people say that.
I feel like it's very much anywhere you go. Like, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. So
that's true.
Especially, I mean, maybe back in the 80s, you might have had some problems, but in the year of 2023, when I tell you there's like a Yoshinoa on the corner, like you're fine. Go get your noodles and go home. But I will say that was the first time I ever been somewhere. Oh, in Oakland and South Central, the only two places I've been where I'm just trying to get a sandwich from Subway, and like the sub station is behind bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just wanted a buffalo chicken.
Hey, that's Chicago. That's just where we are. Mm-hmm. Everything's in the bulletproof glass. Like
it goes to almost any Harold's.
Any Harold you go to. I mean, I own like 8 restaurants, and I got armed guards in them. This is just what it is here.
That must be. Is that Chicago?
Yeah.
When you say Harold's, I know what that is.
Yeah.
South side of Chicago, different than South side. LA.
Yeah, South side of Chicago is different than anything. Yeah.
Speaking of South Side, is it like the show? I'm just kidding.
I love South Side.
I love South Side.
I hate they did not renew for a 4th season on HBO Max. But maybe they'll float there somewhere else. All right. So with this copper job, so what are y'all voting? We gonna cop it or drop it?
Cop.
No, definitely cop.
Yeah, cop.
Yeah.
Man, I was on the drop, but y'all got me one.
Really? I
was on the drop.
It's going to be so interesting. It was a good setup to a series because now you know our minds are wandering, thinking about what's going to be happening in the summer. How's the fall going to act? I mean, we don't know. Now that we know this is a personification of all these seasons.
Good point.
Right, and the only reason I was leaning towards drop because I wanted to read the entire thing collected. That's what I was thinking. I said, you know what? I don't feel like waiting 3 more months to set it in. Let me just wait and get the whole thing in a trade paperback and read it from start to finish.
Yeah, I do agree. I think this is gonna be a better whole story rather than issue story. But I mean, just seeing how this one was, where like spring was the like exaggerated version on steroids, you know, like everything's growing. So I was like, as soon as it went like, oh, summer's coming next, I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, is that just gonna be like super hot? And then like that's where my mind started going, where like it got me thinking and wanting more and where I think it's gonna go. So in that, like if an issue ends like that, I'm like, I'm sold. You know, where I'm done reading and I'm still thinking about it and I'm thinking what's gonna happen next. I'm like, sold. You got me.
Okay, cool. Well, I see it.
Well, I take Marquelon off.
So I guess House Nerds gonna cop this. Keep on. All right. So what you want to do next, Elle? You want to
so the second part of Copper Drop is Tara and I will both pitch a book, a new number 1 dropping next week, and you guys can vote.
I'm interested to see what the choices are. I'm
Here we go.
waiting with bated excitement.
Oh,
feel
don't
like
get too excited.
I know, right?
It's okay. We forgot we were here today. Oh, to you guys.
Yeah.
Dippy's one of our like OG like fans and subscribers, so appreciate
Nice.
him coming over.
Very
All right. I will. So I'm pitching Terror War #1.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get the banner.
You know, so she started talking, I started looking it up. Like, what's this about?
Let me get there. No. Eisner winning writer Saladin Ahmed from Miles Morales and superstar horror artist Dave Acosta make their Image debut with the sci-fi horror series about working people fighting mind-bending monsters. Blue City was the last livable place on Earth. Now it's crawling with terrors, creatures that transform into their victims' worst fears. Humanity's last hope? ? Muhammad Cho and his overworked, underpaid crew of freelance terror fighters. We're not heroes, we're contractors. And this looks like a 3-issue, or they only have 3 issues listed right now. But yeah. It has like really cool like cyberpunk vibe to it. On the interiors.
Nice panels.
From your description, first thing I thought about was like, it seemed like a throwback to the 80s. And I thought about Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then you saw it and you're like, this is Blade Runner? Or like,
The Blade Runner. It's like
yeah, so this is
well, that's an interesting cover.
Little frog boy. And if this book wins, Marquelon has agreed to cosplay.
Like, show me where I signed it.
Wait, can I vote
Some
against
red
my own book?
overalls.
And
I mean, that's straight the Mickey Mouse outfit, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
no undershirt. You know he's musty.
I gotta get my antiperspirant on.
Yes, right. Don't pick the wrong one either.
All right, and Tara is pitching All 8 Eyes.
Yes, which I feel like, I guess it's not cheating, but we did an advanced review on this a couple weeks ago on this show. So this series reunites the team of Fox Kowalski, colorist Brad Simpson, and letterer Hassan Othmani-Allahu, following their collaboration in Razor Blades, which is a taboo-busting anthology of terror co-created by Fox and multiple Eisner winner James Tynion IV, since you want to drop the Eisner thing. All 8 Eyes takes us back to the forgotten corners of post 9/11 New York City, when Ben Spencer, a college dropout kid, floats through life in a drug and party-fueled haze, you know, like all of us. And then one terrible night, nobody's going to laugh, okay, until one terrible night.
Oh, Tara.
Sorry, I forgot where I was.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, just give me a rolled eye or something. Switches into a drifter's reckless war against the giant egg-legged horrors stalking the city's most vulnerable residents. So we're talking spiders big as dogs, y'all. And people trying to fight them underground, and other people trying to be in denial about their existence. I'm just saying, and beautiful colors along with it. And it's a good read, which I already know, which is unusual for a copper drop.
Mm-hmm. This has like big like video game vibes. I feel like only certain people have like this ability to see once they decide to see something.
Right.
And it's like I just felt like it would make like a really cool video game, but I could settle for a comic.
The first thing I thought was 8-legged freeze.
Yeah,
that's the first thing in my mind when I saw this. And then,
which is kind of offensive because it's not their fault that they're not.
You're not going to marginalize them just because they have 8 eyes and feet.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that old boy Dewey from Scream? He was an 8-legged freeze, right? I can remember.
Right now. Oh yeah.
Is he 8-legged freeze? And then Arachnophobia was what Jeff.
That's it. I was like looking at his face in my head and I couldn't think of his name.
I had to think of his ex-wife's name first, and then I could go backwards to his name.
There you go.
Arcade. I know his last name is Arcade.
Yeah.
I call him Dewey from Scream now.
That works.
Everyone knows.
And Y'all remember this old movie with William Shatner called Kingdom of the Spiders? Back when USJ used to play like the Creepy Crawlers Week and stuff. I remember saw that when I was a kid.
I used to remember something like that. There was a similar one called Food of the Gods, which scared me too. Yeah, with like all the bugs and vermin and stuff get giant from the water supply kind of situation.
I just watched Enemy, so spiders, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
I don't mess with spiders, man. No,
there was a giant spider in Enemy that Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis, or how do you say his name? The guy who did Dune, Dennis
Villeneuve,
or whatever it is.
Villeneuve, isn't it? I don't know.
Villeneuve sounds right.
So I didn't know. I had never seen it, and everybody always was like, "Oh, I think you would like this movie," and I was like, "You guys, I don't like every pretentious movie that comes out," and so I'm watching it, and I'm like half asleep, and I'm like so confused by this movie. And I'm like, I don't know if it's confusing because I'm not comprehending or if because I'm sleepy. And then all of a sudden there's a giant spider and I'm like, what is going on right now? and I fell asleep and I went back and I finished the movie. And then I'm like sitting here and I usually don't have to. I do feel I'm a little bit, smart sometimes. But I had to like Google like what the fuck was that ending? I said, am I tripping or are they tripping? And like every website was like, you are not tripping.
It's not just you.
And it wasn't bad. Like it was a beautifully shot movie and everything, but I was just like, what?
Sometimes movies are like, what the hell did I just watch? What the hell was that?
Yeah.
And then you have gems like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Part 1 or part 2?
You said I like a destination movie. You said 2.
Or as a stand-up comedian said, man, that movie, they said, how the hell you gonna share a pair of pants? That ain't even sanitary.
That ain't
sanitary. But they were magic. Well, I don't know, Elle, Terry, y'all got some good picks, man. I mean, man, I was leaning towards Terry War, but then I saw all 8 eyes. I'm like, nightmares and spiders. I know.
Yeah.
I don't mess with spiders. That's one thing. No, I call my wife. I'm like, hey, can you come get the spider?
I know I'm tall, but I don't know the spider.
Hey, I'll fight a guy, a thief, a robber. I'll fight that spider. No, you gotta get that, man. Get a shoe.
He's good on that.
Yeah, there's like games now that have like mods where you could like mod out enemy spiders to look like something else because so many people have issues with spiders.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's funny.
That'll be good for me, man. There's 2 things I don't do. I don't do ghost and I don't do spiders.
I mean, who's gonna do ghosts?
That's so crazy because I'm actually writing a comic book called Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider.
Technically, there is a comic book called Ghost Spider already. That's what she.
Okay.
She goes by Ghost Spider.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And instead of Spider Gwen, it's like her code is actually Ghost Spider.
Well, what's like another? I'm doing Arachnid Ghoul.
Arachnid Ghoul.
Yeah, that's it. That's catchy.
Phantasm to Arachnids. I don't know.
So the poll is up. So feel free to use all of your burner accounts to.
Quick, let me go.
Do it.
He said, watch a YouTube explanation, then rewatch it. You'll appreciate. Yeah, I did end up liking the open to interpretation. It like how open it was. Like I feel like you could take it any direction you want to, and it was a very well done movie. It was just I was half asleep when I first watched it, and didn't know if I was awake or asleep, and then there's spiders. So
not good.
See, Elle, you gonna make me watch this movie. Where did you watch this movie?
I know
it's on Netflix right now. Because what happened was I had never seen Prisoners until last year, and then I watched it. So good.
Wait, what's Prisoners about? I think I remember. What was it about?
Prisoners is the one where the kids go missing. The 2 little kids go missing.
Is that the one with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that movie was like out there. I was like, what?
Yeah, and I was like, this is so good. And then somebody was like, oh, if you like that, you'd love Enemy. I don't see the connection now that I've seen them both, but I think people are like, oh, you just must like really oppressive feeling movies that make you feel like you're suffocating.
Yeah, I mean, the ending of a person was kind of ambiguous too. Like, well, did he really do it, or he just tortured this boy for no reason, or what was going on here?
The whistling.
Yeah.
I have to relearn how to whistle in case I ever get myself into that situation. You never know. You never know. People are weird.
So I forgot Enemy, and then I looked it up right now, and there's that picture of Jake Gyllenhaal looking like at a corner of a room, and it's a giant spider, and I remember that, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
He was like, I'm not messing with it at all.
Now I remember why I did. Yeah, but like you talking about it, like kind of like, okay, I'll check it out. But then I saw that picture, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that in the trailer. I'm like, nah.
You know, to me, the movies that are too scary, I'll go because my wife loves scary movies. I'll go. Yeah. I'm gonna look at the corner of the screen, pretend like I'm watching the whole thing the whole time. And she's like, "Why aren't you jumping?" I ain't scared. Really, I didn't watch none of the movie. That's what that's how I get away with it.
Y'all gonna make me go watch this movie?
I might check it out.
You know what's funny though is like I don't know if it's because I have 100 kids and I have 3 kids, but they're nosy, right? When they were smaller, I could watch whatever I want. There's no questions, there's no whatever. But now that they have they've become self-aware and stuff, I'm like my son's walking by like, are those boobs? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they are. Now go away. Like, get out of here.
Have that conversation.
and it was so funny because I don't know if you guys watch Dave, but you know the new season started. FX. Yeah, and why the most opportune, like, don't come in my room and so they're gonna walk in when they're filming the music video.
No,
at the gym scene.
Right.
And I said, why?
Dave just started this week, right? The new season of Dave just started.
There's like 3 episodes out. Yeah.
Okay, I need to catch up on Dave.
Yeah, I haven't caught up either.
I've been on Snowfall, baby. So
you gotta be careful with 2 for a $5 though, because his other favorite movie is High Life. Questionable taste. Questionable taste. Oh, they're asking Ian. Not me.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you watch TV, when you got kids, you have to have your thumb on the pause.
Like ready to go.
Kids can see this.
Ready to go.
This language.
And it's so funny because like I used to up until a certain age, I'm like, whatever, like you don't even know what's going on. It's beautiful, you don't know. And then there's like a point where it's like, and I think what it is my daughter is 11. But my sons are 5 and 6, and they fuel each other. So I think if it was just one, he would be like, "Oh, it's a human body, whatever." But because there's 2 of them, he's gonna run. Warren's gonna run to Damien and be like, "I saw boobies," and the other one's gonna come running in because they saw something. But it was my 11-year-old like walked into my room and she looked at the TV, and there goes all the lotion out the side of Dave's pants. And she looked at me and she said, "Okay," and she just walked out. And I'm like, I don't know which one is better.
I mean, your 11-year-old is almost at that point where she started developing disdain for you. Like, you do this, Mom, for real? Got better of you.
No, like I don't even like suggest things anymore. I just kind of let her come. She just watched Matilda for the first time, and she's like, "Oh, I'm watching Matilda," and I was like, "Oh, do you like it?" And I try to act cool about it, real casual. I'm like, "You like it?" She's like,
"You really want to be like, oh my god, you saw Matilda? Let's go watch it together."
But now I use it against her. I said, like when her dad got home, I was like, "Not your daughter calling me Miss Trunchbull." I never said that. And I'm like, that maybe this is why you don't like when I tell you stuff, when I suggest things to you.
The first one would be like the good one or the new one.
So, that's what I asked. I said the musical, and she was like, "Oh no, I think it's the old one." And I said, like in my head, I'm like, okay.
So you know the way.
Right. Exactly. Because she gets like real embarrassed, especially like when it comes to like the anime and stuff she watches. She's real like, I'm like, what do you really be watching in there? And I just happened to check like her account was like still logged into the TV, and it was like I forget what it was called. Tara, we had mentioned it before. The romantic killer or romance killer.
Oh yeah, romance killer. Yeah.
And it like popped up on the recently watched, and I said, "What are you doing watching romance?" That's not what it's about.
Really not.
There's no romance. I'm like, okay.
It's like, is that a good question?
better ask.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. My daughter is such a nerd though. She's and I hate to say it, like I'm not trying to say that as like a bad thing or anything.
I know that's a point of pride.
But
Especially on the House of Nerds.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, okay, all of us are nerds. I mean,
no, she's like a huge square, and I'm so thankful for it. She just wants to play video games and be in her room, and I'm like, bye. Stay in your room.
Yeah,
you don't ever have to leave. But I am a little bit worried because she's been a homeschool kid since the pandemic
you don't think she
started.
Can adjust to real people in the real
world?
Well,
when she goes back this year, or at the start of the school year, she'll be in middle school, and so it's like a rough time to go back in person.
Time to read Lord of the Flies.
My cousin said that middle school is the worst because the hormones kick in. Kids are going to puberty in middle school. Yeah. That's the worst.
So you haven't been around other kids, and now you're throwing her into deep end, like no floaties or nothing. You're just, all right, learn how to swim. I guess.
You ever see what's that show? Was it Big Mouth on Netflix where the girl was like, I hate you, mom.
Exactly.
I love you, but I hate you. I want to replace you, but I can't. I don't want to be you.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I was like, I just listened to this podcast, and this guy was like asking, like, do they do, and it made me wonder, because in middle school we didn't have to take showers. We had to change, but we didn't. So you had to take showers. Do they still do that? Is that a thing?
I hope not. I don't know. I hope not. It was horrible.
I mean, some schools you don't have men and women bathrooms. You have, the
co-ed bathrooms.
Co-ed bathrooms and stuff. So
that's the trend we go into. But you have co-ed bathrooms at your house too. So
Sure.
No, I don't let my kids use my. No, I'm just kidding. I know, I'm serious. It has to be an emergency, and it's so funny because I refuse to use the bathroom, like the other bathroom, because it grosses me out. Kids are gross.
Kids are gross,
and I won't clean it either. And it's like, if my husband ever leaves me, that's a point of contention. I'm not touching their bathroom. It's disgusting.
Well, you got to teach them to do it themselves.
Oh no, my husband cleans it, but it's funny because he'll be like, he streams from our room too, like he plays like he does Twitch, and like I'll text him during his stream like, let me in. Turn your camera off for 3 minutes, please.
Just 3 minutes.
3 minutes. I just gotta pee. He's like, there's a bathroom out there. Like you could. I was like, I can't do it. My bladder won't let me. My body refuses.
Especially if it's a bathroom where 3 guys use it, and 2 of them are kids still. So it's like, why is everything wet? Why is it ceiling wet?
So why can't you aim?
I have all girls, so I have no problem.
Yeah. Every odd one out.
Oh, girls are just as bad. It's the
garbage
can.
But at least, the garbage cans. That's true.
He's shaking his head. Like, oh, man, you don't know.
You just don't want to know, man. I've seen some things. I've been through some stuff.
But boys are so gross. My son, like when I've walked by the bathroom before and heard them say to each other, like, "Look at that," and they're like, they're hovering over the toilet, like, "What are you guys doing? I don't want to know." Or they'll be, they don't call they know the proper term for their anatomy, but they think it's so funny to call them dingerlingers and seaweed. And so all you hear all day long is, Damien punched me in my seaweed. And and Damien, he just loves to say, do you have a dingerlinger? And then he'll like, it just makes him, it tickles him so much. But kids are all around gross. So
yeah.
Regardless.
But boys at 5 and 6,
they're awful. They're awful.
They're awful.
They're awful. I people who have twins, like, and you know what? I kick myself every day. I said, you know what? This is your fault. This is your fault. You have, because I went, like, my husband, we've been together for like 14 years. I went 5 years, no kids, and then boom, boy. And I said, why would you do that?
Yeah, because he controls the Y chromosome. He willed it to happen.
So now it's like, I never want to have another child again because I have 2 boys back to back. Never want to have any more kids.
I'm done. Close shop.
That's where I'm at too. Me and my wife look at each other like, man. Because I have twins that run in my family, so we have 2 little girls, and so one's 8, one's 6, and now if I get a twin and I end up with 4 girls, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I told me and my wife, we'll both
that gun out.
We'll give our 2-week notice. We'll let everyone else know, say, hey, we're leaving. We're gonna have the house. You know, you guys check on them every once in a while, and you know, that's it. I'm done because I'm not going 4 girls. I can't do that. It's
no. It's,
you know, I can't even afford it. That's 4 weddings. Oh man.
Oh.
I was raised by like a single dad, and I have 3 brothers, so it's always been boys. And so when I had my daughter, I said, yes, give me something. And then then I had 2 boys. And then in my family, my dad's a twin, and there's a lot in my family where my cousins have had their 3rd kid and then twins, but they're always like, this is my last one, and then it ends up being 2. I'm deathly afraid of that, so I will not be even participating in anything.
Not participating.
Now that you're not participating, you can take steps.
I got lots of plans. I got an A, B, and C. And D.
Okay. What would you post? One of my old jobs is clean, go clean. The women's were always way worse than men's.
Yeah, women's bathrooms are gross.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
No, I like to use the family bathroom. That's where if there's somewhere that has a family bathroom, I will use that before I use like a women's bathroom.
Okay, well, y'all making me feel much better about this situation.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Guys are disgusting, but it's disgusting everywhere. You know what's going on. Women are sneaky disgusting. So like, it's like you don't expect it to come in, and then all of a sudden hit you in the face. You're like, oh my god, what am I doing? Words.
My mother tells my brother and I that she actually wanted. Damien, get out of my room.
That's perfect timing.
I heard my name.
Go, get out of here.
And she called it too at the beginning, right before we went live.
Sure did.
Now, on that note, we did Copper Drive.
Marquelon, we're doing the show. I promise. We can. Okay. Marquelon.
Oh, there we go.
Monarch.
Hey, Monarch number 3 came out. I missed that.
When did you watch it?
That's what I thought he said. He's like, wait, I didn't.
But you said that I was confused. I was like, so you haven't read this?
Yeah.
I did not read. Man, I got to go back to the comic book store. Day. Y'all go ahead and tell me about this. I'll listen.
So this is one of the books that you guys have been reading.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about Spoiler Kings.
I know what you're talking about.
I've read the first one, and then I didn't get a chance to pick up number 2, and I didn't know number 3 was out yet. Brian Perry.
Unbelievable. Guys.
I was supposed to go yesterday to the comic book store, and that didn't happen. But
I mean, so
the story. I mean, number 1.
You understand what's going on. So basically, you know, it's an alien invasion. All right, and this basically is just kind of talking about how this little girl feels safest with her brother, who's not really her brother. You know.
Okay.
Everyone's kind of desperate for food during this invasion. They're living off rations and put some face to face in front of other students. You know, so it's really cool. I mean, it's a lot of things that happen. People are it's young, but people are betraying each other. People are killing each other. It's craziness. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on. This is a very cool series. I mean, I didn't know exactly what to expect when I picked up the first one, but once you understood it was an alien race coming in, it's really good. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, nice little twist. In the first issue, I actually read the series for the first time this morning because I do my work ahead of time. You know, I like to get it done early. No. So I read it this morning, all 3 issues, and it was excellent. I'm kind of mad I didn't jump on it earlier. Okay. I might have let somebody else's opinion sway that.
Sergio, you should listen. I wish this.
The artist style is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think of Boondocks almost. Boondocks ish.
That makes sense.
I really just enjoy, and then you've seen it from different cultures, point of view too. That's probably the number one reason I picked it up, and I enjoyed it, that one for that reason in itself.
But that also confused me a little, because I said, what is Todd doing in Compton Elementary School? Todd, who are your parents?
Maybe he been held back.
Todd's been adopted. That's what it was.
And it seems Todd might have a proclivity to maybe dissecting animals.
Yes.
So I'm really curious about his upbringing.
He's giving Dahmer, yeah.
He's good. Yes, he is very much.
I actually think that he will become a problem soon. The further we get into it, I think he's gonna become a problem.
Yeah, and I like that idea of like love is like, he's like the what's his name? Shoot, the main character, Trayvon. I like that. That's like his like fuel. Besides, obviously he's analytical. You know, he thinks of things in very intellectual terms, not without emotion, but without emotion being the driving factor. And so I like that he has, like, in his own way, has broken down what love is, and it's not something that is easily explainable, and he can accept that, and that's like his driving force. So I really appreciated that in the story. I liked all the cultural references.
Yeah.
I liked the location. I like that it's set in the hood. Even the neighborhood characters, I was like, I know him. This man been in this wheelchair in front of this house for 60 years. So it was really cool. I really liked it. And I like that it's different enough from all of Rodney's other books right now that it feels like its own thing. It doesn't feel, and it's a lot of the same people he works with, but it feels like it's its own thing.
Hey man, what can I say? Rodney Barnes is talented. I called this. You should listen to me on this, Elle. I may not be right all the time, but like a clock, I'm right at least 2 times.
So Sergio wasn't into it?
Nah. I was into it from the first issue. Sergio's like, I don't know, man, the colors. And Sergio is almost an art snob. I don't understand why the kid looks this way art-wise, and it didn't make sense. I was like,
but then is gonna pitch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I
This
mean,
guy puts ketchup on his pizza probably, and we're gonna. He's like, it's not wet enough.
Oh, that's cold, man. Can't use the marinara sauce. The
marinara is too spicy. Yeah, no, I don't think he disliked it. I think he just said he preferred other things.
Yeah.
But I thought this was excellent.
I listened to that review, and I feel like Sergio didn't get it, and I think this is something you have to understand why the character is almost a character being in the hood, being from where it is. You have to understand what that is in America sometimes, and then understand the cultural.
It is
aspect. It's huge once you understand that, and you understand the survival mode, and then you're seeing aliens and you're surviving on a different level. I think you really start to understand what's going on. And
harsh. I was surprised by how like harsh it was in the first issue, because you see are kids, right? But it's so like, it's not mean-spirited, but it's brutally like a reflective of living in the low income areas in America. And I know there's areas everywhere like that, but this has a very distinctive culturally American tone to it.
It really is. I mean, because it's the problems they had are things that you see in all poor neighborhoods in all big cities in the world. And though, like, I've only been to Southern California when I went to go visit USC, but like literally seeing that and seeing the South Side of Chicago, I totally understood exactly what we were talking about, in atmosphere. understanding this atmosphere, understanding the characters, understanding the harshness they're all going through, and then understanding how they still have to have love, but they're all trying to survive this crazy thing from a different point of view. I thought this is a great comic, but and great setup. And I can't wait.
Yeah.
So now this comes out. It came out like this week. I believe the next one comes out in May. And I can't wait for issue 4.
Yeah, even like the whimsy that is introduced by, which turns out to not be whimsy, turned out to be fact, with Willa May telling him about what she saw that one day and how it gave her hope, you know, in her circumstances. Even just that, like, you know, juxtaposed to the like where you live and what you're expected to believe and not believe coming from places like that, because I think most of you can relate to living with parents who are like, cut that shit out. Like none of that's real. Like there's a lack of imagination that you're allowed to have living in places like this. And so I really liked that she kind of fueled that inside of them, regardless of it. And I thought that was very special. And again, you know, uniquely relatable if you've been grown up in those environments.
Exactly.
I think it's good, and I think he, you know, because I speed read 3 while y'all were talking. I said, you know what, this could be a series. I'm like, this could be a TV series. I'm reading issue 3 now. It's okay, because it's like we were finding I could actually see kids playing this out in live action now. Like, okay,
yeah.
I mean, this definitely could be something, a movie or TV show or something like that. It easily could be this. But the question is, how much do you really want to understand where people are coming from? Do you want to empathize from their situation, and then understand all the harshness that's actually going on, and then understand this little girl who's still, her imagination is actually being held together by this entity, you know, that she can love and still hide under because he's protecting that innocence in her. Yeah. So.
And that was like, ugh, sweet baby angel Marley, because at the beginning of this issue, and she's just worried, like, nobody could take care of me how my parents took care of me, and being thrust into a situation. And I feel like, yeah, like that was the universe putting you in a position to be somewhere safe. And even with him, like the way he empathizes with old boy in issue 1, like I'm not the enemy. Yeah. Even that was like, you know, you can empathize with both characters because I know why you're acting the way you're acting. It's real easy to do that. A lot of times you don't have any other choice but when he closed the gate, I said, you know, you about to get your ass beat after this. You can't close a door on somebody's face and not expect to get smacked.
So, well, you know, you deserve that. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
but you know, this is the main thing. Hurt people. You know, and that boy in the first issue, he was obviously somebody who had been hurt by the system. He was gonna lash out on this boy. You know, I don't like you because you seem whole, so I want to destroy you.
And there's a lot of people like that, man. You know, like I think growing up, like Chicago, like we always say, like it's the city of haters. You know, this like, oh, you got a nice stereo. All right, I'm gonna break your window. Even if there's not I didn't even have a radio in my car because it was already stolen. Replace the window. Somebody still broke the window. I was like, there's not even a radio. There's nothing in there to steal. They just like, nah, that window looks too good, and they just broke it. You know, but that's how it is, and it sucks. You know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people just hurt, like you said.
Yeah, I was recently victimized by. I didn't realize I was not locking my car door at night.
No.
I thought my alarm just was broken, so I was like, "Oh, it must be a broken alarm, right?" So for almost a year, and nobody broke into my car for a whole year. And I said, "What's wrong with my car that you don't want to break into?" And I do drive a minivan. It was my choice. I love my minivan, but I'm just like, nothing? You guys don't?
You came back. They actually put new tires on it.
It's a nice ass minivan. That's why I was like, come on, y'all. Like, it's not even like it's just all the same color. It's not like a two-tone.
It's not different panels.
No, it's like a current year, like current model. I'm like, come on, y'all, nothing in here, nothing for a whole year. And then what made me realize it is I manually locked like the side door, and then I realized that it was like a what do you call those things in cars? The things that trigger something else. Like you need to replace the fuse. Oh, it's a fuse.
Oh yeah.
One of the fuses in the locks was not working. And then when I realized that and I did it and the alarm went on and it honked, I said, "Shut up." And I said, "And nobody has broken it. I got gummy worms in the glove compartment. I got my trunk stays with water and juice and snacks." And I said, "Okay, I guess good enough for y'all around here."
Yeah, that wouldn't work here.
Right,
that wouldn't work in Chicago. Yeah. That wouldn't work in Chicago. Everything would have been gone.
That wouldn't even work in Delaware. Yeah.
No, that's why I was so surprised because I live in like I live in like the Seattle area now, and there's a lot of like there's a big unhoused population. There's a lot of like drug addicts actively using everywhere. That's why I was like, this was a free car for like a whole year.
Well, there's a higher class of drug addicts in Seattle, apparently.
Yeah. They even have that hack on TikTok where you can like hotwire Kias with
the Kia boys.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I even have a Kia and you're not stealing it. Like, come on.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm gonna maybe look at that on TikTok for
this right. Yeah, that's crazy, man. The Kia boys. That's super.
Yeah, they're using
insane.
Like
this is a screwdriver.
USB ports.
USB ports. Just pop it in, turn it. And then it's like them hot wiring it, and then the next clip is them like flying up a hill and just like going crazy with these stolen cars.
And you could be flying up a hill with a Capri Sun.
With Capri Sun.
The good gummy bears too, those Albanese ones.
I thought y'all were like, look, I've seen this Kia boy stuff on TikTok now. I'm like, wait a minute, what? This is what's gonna get TikTok banned right here in every state because Montana did it last night, apparently.
Really?
Seattle is
Montana banned TikTok.
No, it is. Seattle is people. We were recommended to move here by family, and then when we got here, I said I can go back to South LA right now. Especially because they were trying to sell us on, oh, it's so affordable to live here. It's so no, it's not. It's
everything changed like 3 years ago when minimum wage went up, and that means inflation went crazy through the roof, and now you can't afford anything.
But I was visiting Seattle when that happened. I was like, man, it was like, I don't know, crazy to me, like a crazy amount, like $3,000 a month for an apartment downtown. It was some crazy amount.
It's the luxury and vice tax out here. Like you get I was just telling Tara I bought like a couple cases of those Cutwater mixed drinks. They were on sale $12.99. I ended up spending $40 on 2 of them because of the luxury tax. And then like a liter of Bacardi is like, oh, it's on sale. It's $20. And you go to check out, it's like $35 because of the tax.
Wow.
You better. I think that delivered.
California got crazy stuff. I've been talking about this all week. Like when I visit California, I get gas or get water. But like it's like a tax and there's a fee on top of it. What is this? I be from California. We charge a fee for water. We charge a fee for gas. What the hell is this? That's the tax.
Tax to live there. That's what it is. We do that too. They got sugar. We got sugar tax. Anything with sugar in it, you're taxed on it.
Man.
We had the plastic bag tax for a while. I don't know if that's still around in the city.
We don't even have bags out here anymore. You have to use reusable. You have to bring your own bags out here.
Y'all make me feel better because we had a 10% sales tax here in Alabama, in Birmingham, at least. Like 10% sales tax.
10%?
Yeah,
I haven't seen those prices. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, you lucky.
Yeah, y'all making me feel it because I complained when I was a kid growing up. It was like 8%, and they raised it to 10 when I grew up. I was like, what? Not to buy my own stuff is 10%.
Yeah.
Sister Arlington.
So comic books.
Yeah.
Children of the Black Sun.
There we go.
I'm behind on this, I know. So
yeah.
But
Yeah, I
I
haven't
need
read
it.
this yet.
This
haven't
has
read
to be
the
one
newest
of
one.
my favorite comic book covers ever, just because of how
Mhm.
smug he looks. Like he's just like, yeah, and
Yeah. Well, like talking like with Ambassador, how boring the covers are. Like
Mhm.
Black Sun, the covers are so good, and then
Mhm.
all the different variants like are
oh
completely
yeah, mhm.
different, and they look so
Mhm.
good.
wow.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
You
a
know,
fire variant. Right
yeah.
there.
It's
So
so crazy because I have to get
so good.
multiple the variants. Like I just get number 4. I get all 3 of the 4s, all 3 of the
Ooh, you
3s.
playing an expensive game right there, bud.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, but I only read one, so I keep one, and the other 2 I'm gonna put to the side. You know, I put in my
That's what digital
plastic.
art is
And,
for.
Yeah.
hey,
That's
this
digital
is
art is for,
great.
yeah.
This is beautiful. You know, but you know, I did that with Batman versus Spawn.
Spawn.
You know, I bought all the variant
Mhm.
covers.
What, like 15?
I have like 15 variant covers and put them all up.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm in recovery. I was that way, especially with Ice Cream Man. I was buying
yeah,
like
that'll do
10,
it.
15 covers a issue, and then
Damn.
I know I had a problem. You know, I had to take a step back, and then you know
That's no problem.
what recently refueled it was when Dan Slott tweeted, "You're not gonna want to miss this spoiler cover,"
Oh no.
and I said, Dan, for Spider-Man number, what was it, 7? And I said, get out of here. So this is me on Midtown. Like, let me get 3 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of
Then you
these.
ordered from Midtown. You in Seattle. You ordered from Midtown in New York.
I ordered from Midtown because my local shop, I don't do business with them anymore. I don't want to put their business out there, but they played me one too many times. Especially being you know, a woman in comics, like they will try you sometimes, and
they think you don't know any better. You're like, I host the House of Nerds. Y'all don't know me.
No, I really love going to the comic shop and acting like I don't know anything, because it's like it's like a fun game for me, because I'm already not social. So I'll go in there and I'll be like, my husband was asking for like
a thing,
a book. I think it was Batman, a Marvel book. And,
oh, that's hilarious.
But no, I like the certainty I get from ordering from Midtown sometimes. Like I know for sure, like I will have this, and this. Especially if I'm pre-ordering it. And so they had like a cap on how many you could buy, but because I pre-ordered it, I was able to get all of the covers. And like I see online on eBay now, like, you know, people selling them and I'm like, oh, I can easily buy a new tablet. Thank you. You guys made me hood rich a little bit, because
that cover game, that variant cover game is an expensive game. I'll go buy and I'll see they have that same book I just bought for $10, starting at $10 of variant covers. Ooh, I like it, but
I know. I mean, what you get, like I had the Batman versus Spawn, the glow in the dark one.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Why would I not get that? I have to get that. Then I have to get all of them with the glow in the dark ones. And so, I mean, it's eventually it's gonna pay for itself. That's what I keep on telling myself. That's what
I'm about to say.
Eventually it's gonna pay for itself.
I think I was like tapped out when like I was like, I ordered this exclusive cover, and I spent like $45 or something on it, and then I went to like a sidewalk sale at my old comic shop, and I saw a bunch of them in there for like $3 because they were just trying to get rid of them, and I said no. I thought I was doing something, but for me it's like an art thing. So if I feel drawn to something, I'll buy it regard. Like my cap is like $45, but I also stopped buying as many books, and my poll is like very small right now. Like right now I think I only have Dead by Daylight pulled, and everything else I just pick up as I go at this point, because I was doing too much. I had a pull with Sergio and my comic shop. I'm ordering on Midtown. Like I had to take a chill pill, so I had to.
We've all been there. We've all
been
there. My credit card bill.
I'm back into it now because
I got a budget, you know. I don't go over 120 a week. I don't go over 120 a week. I say, all right, that's it.
I try to stay under $100, but they got me on this trip back, and like apparently I still didn't get everything I needed from talking to y'all.
I mean, this issue of Black Sun is really interesting. It's getting darker and darker, and people are dying all over the place, and the town is turning on the kids, and the kids are getting even. The younger kids are still naive. The older kids, I mean, seem to be evil. Like they know exactly what they're doing. They have a plan, and they're going to come, and I think the rest of these regular people are going to be dead very soon. It's
well, I think that's what it's going to turn into. It's going to turn into like maybe a civil war between like the first Black Sun kids and the second Black Sun kids, you know, because it seems like the younger ones aren't. I haven't read this issue yet.
So the younger ones, so the older ones are actually recruiting the younger ones right now.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. But
they're coming in, they're grabbing them. Because
I love it when they do this.
I love these.
You know,
the town is actually going after the kids now. They're with pitchforks and like Frankenstein. Like they're going after them and coming to house. Where are your children? Where are these
Beauty
kids?
and the Beast? Yeah,
Beauty and the Beast, exactly. So, but they're doing that now, and now all the kids are the Black Sun kids are coming together, and the younger ones are trying to decide if they're going to go stick with the older ones or they're going to do their own thing. They don't want to hurt anyone in the town, but the town's turning against them, and they might have to. And they all have their own special powers.
Okay, and that's what I wondered, because I mean, I think I stopped around 3, and I could see the older kids are still trying to like, you know, y'all need to do with us because now we got powers, and we know they don't really know what we were when we were kids, but you know, we about to mess stuff up, you know.
So this issue is really interesting because I don't know how to do it without spoiling.
Man, they watch the show, they can spoil it. You can spoil it.
I mean, I'm gonna read it either way, so it don't matter.
Something happens where like 2 older Black Sun kids are going to have a child type of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I almost included that because I was like, "What is this?"
Because it was so weird. It just the way it happened. You're like, okay, so what? So you don't have to produce that way, all right? But they're going to have something, and this child is going to change everything.
It's gonna be like the prophet. Well, like in the last issue, in issue 3, they had that like an oracle kind of one in the sewers.
I am looking at this now.
It's so cool because it looked all freaky and weird and stuff, and I was like, all right, this is getting really crazy. And then it's spoken like riddles, or kind of didn't make sense really.
So like talking to Yoda.
Yeah. So
I like that one mom, and I think it was issue 2, and she's like chastising her son, and she's like, "Don't blame the devil if it was you who let him in." And then to see where it got to from there, I was like, I guess it was you.
Y'all see Second Street Marvel? F them kids. And I just saw the scene y'all talking about how they reproduce. I'm just flipping through it now. Whoa. Okay.
She said, let me put a finger, what is it called? The little, when you bend the corner of the page, a little bookmark.
Yeah, bookmark.
I ain't bookmarking it, but I was looking like, what the hell is this?
You said this is a bathroom book. No, that page was wildly uncomfortable. I kept going. I had to go back to it like 3 times because I said, "What is this?"
Man.
I was like, "What is going on? Like, why? What?"
What?
But I also have to remember this was a European comic first. Okay. So because I was curious about Blaze 2 is like a international publisher, but I was curious about that because they do tend to show more lewd acts more freely in those kind of books, and so I'm looking at it and I'm like, am I missing something? Do the children not have and then I said, oh, maybe this was an artistic choice to keep it a little above board, probably because of their ages and stuff. But it was like really weird. Like, and there's a facial scene that I was not a facial, but there is a scene with a face.
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, what is happening?
All right. So now I figured out what this reminds me of. It reminds me of that when I was a kid, this movie with Christopher Reeves came out, like his last movie, like not children of the corn, Village of the Damned. That's what
yeah.
It's exactly what
okay.
The first issue, I think I was reading the review on it, and they said it's a very Village of the Damned type of feel. But this ending is not going to be what you saw for Village of the Damned. Go on the ride, go on the voyage of seeing these issues, and you'll see something different. And you're going to enjoy where it takes you, and that's why I pick it up each one. I'm always going through it with that in my mind. Go on the ride, go through what's happening, and you'll see where it leads.
And And I didn't watch Village of Damn. My mom's told me about it. I don't think it had a good ending. I think the lead like died and dad just recalled trying to save the world from the kids.
It did not have a good ending.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's again perspective. It was good for somebody.
You're right.
Very few. But I mean, this is another thing. I like the style of each little panel.
Yeah.
I mean, some things are blacked out. Something it's just very, very creative, very artistic. Some of the scenes are beautiful, and then in the next scene, you're gonna get something that's crazy, and you know in your mind you already know the black sun is coming back again. And what are they saying by calling the black sun? What is it really? You know, and then they call it the second one was like the second coming, the third coming of the black sun.
What it was a countdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It started off with 4 and then went to 1. And then I know there's a spinoff being made called Parent of the White Moon.
Ooh.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I just said the opposite word of every word in the title.
But you know, like somebody would do something like that too.
Yeah.
So it's not like out of the blue.
The fan fiction.
I just don't even mind the way the death scenes when they see like you see a body like a head being blown up. They do it in a way that just still doesn't like make you like, oh my god. It's like, oh man, that's
high art.
Yeah, it's fancy death. Yeah,
you died well.
Yeah, I mean those
could both be titles.
So yeah.
This is Guy's face, and it just looks like he's like I'm gonna tell my mom. My dad's gonna know about this. Like he just looks like
he does have that look.
Well, y'all have sold me back on Children of the Black Sun. I had actually let that slip, but just listening to y'all talk about it and then going online and reading it really quick, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how it is now. Like,
exactly,
okay.
You want to see where this ends because
now I do.
Going through the journey, it's special. It's really good. It's its own entity. Yes, it reminds you of things, but it's its own entity, and every issue does something that you don't see coming. And this baby thing, read this issue because it's going to kind of be like, what the hell.
Yeah. Now I wonder when the next one comes out because I don't see it solicited on.
How many issues is this supposed to be? Is it a mini series? Is it going to end or is it just ongoing? We know.
I know someone told me before it was going to be 8, but I'm not. I'm not seeing it right now.
This might be the end of arc 1 then, because the number 5 I don't see listed yet. It doesn't have I don't see a release date.
Yeah.
Or a cover, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're checking the Blaze site. Yeah, because I on the Blaze's website, I only see up to issue 4. So
yeah. So maybe catch up before, and then next thing you know, you'll get when's 5.
The second part come out. Yeah.
So, damn it, a Blaze! Y'all gotta hit him in your hands.
I just like how it started off. In it each issue kind of changed like what was going on because like the first issue you're like, oh, these kids are being bullied and this and that, and then they introduce the older kids, and then they introduce like all the crazy like mob kind of people who blame everything else, like you said, like, oh, it's you let the devil in and that's why it's happening, like that whole family, like the one that got me was she walks in and I think it was like the grandfather had the barbed wire tied up on his arm. And I'm like, what is going on? Like so.
But I've seen that in like other like religious things where like that pain is supposed to be like the
cleansing
what
of the
keeps you
sin.
keeps you in check. Yeah. Which to me is like, you like that. Stop it. You like that. And it's not because it's because you need Jesus, not because you do.
Anti-pain, I just hey, don't bite me. I don't like that. But that's my fear of the zombie apocalypse. I had a girlfriend to know that. She had afraid of zombies. She'd be like, bite me like a zombie. I was like, hey, don't do that. I don't like that.
What?
She knew I had an irrational fear of the zombie apocalypse.
She didn't bite your lip and then you get a little blood and you see the colors again.
Now the fear of the spring coming.
That's right. It all comes around.
There you go. Wow. Yeah, but
I mean,
this one's great.
Yeah, you definitely, if you haven't watched, haven't picked up the first one, pick up all 4 and just read through. It goes very fast. I mean, even as I said, the side scenes when the doctors are talking about how they try to explain what the black sun really is, and you start realizing that the last one, she's like, "Yeah, we don't know what the hell we're talking about. We just bringing stuff up. We're just randomly saying stuff, and people are just eating it up, and it's kind of realistic." That's what I think. A lot of people, you try to explain something that can't be explained. So how about you just shut up? Like, this is what it is.
but we want explanations though, because I like they said, did you realize that 6% of the scientists said they had the suicide rate for the scientists? I'm like, damn.
That's when you know the truth. You don't want to know the truth.
Yeah, we should go back to F them kids.
Yeah, this one's great. This one's great. I forgot how I got into it. But I remember I told Brian, like, Brian, you gotta read this. And then next thing you know, like, he's like, I got it.
Done.
Like the next day.
Done.
Yeah. And now he's ahead of me. So,
I can't look. I got release dates when it's coming out. I'm reading it that night.
You use League of Comic Geeks. I started using that this year. I'm like, man, let me go ahead and mark this off so I can know when it's coming.
I'm telling you, they send me little text messages. Hey, Brian, this is what's going on. Come get it. Come pick it up. It'll be here on Wednesday. We'll put it to the side for you.
My only thing with League is when it shows you in the list form and then with the suggested price tag at the end, I'm like, don't do that. let me eat it when I go pick it up. I don't
even know, but hey, I don't know. Yeah, I want to get there, and I know I'm spending a lot of money. Just don't tell me that.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you're that meme where just you hand the card over. Just take it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the number. I'll see you later.
And then if it's like a little bit under, I'm like, oh, maybe I could add.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do check out a lot of indie. Mostly, I would say indie.
Yeah, I mean, everything today was indie.
Part of what I buy now is indie things. So this is next to the house of nerds.
I mean, I did get Superman Lost 2. That was pretty. It's pretty good.
Oh, you got the emo cover.
Yeah.
and that's part of my list. I think I counted it. I bought 36 comic books or 38 when I came back. I made it halfway through. So what's that?
Nice.
And I hadn't got Superman Lost yet too, but that's a Christopher Priest book, so I'm gonna rock with that regardless. Yeah. I understand, and I said this on House of Nerds. You got to commit to Christopher Priest. It ain't gonna be like, oh, this is one issue, and I get it. You know, it's gonna be like I got to read the whole thing, reflect on it, and come back.
Now I do have an issue with one book he wrote.
Oh, what's that?
And I do. Was it? Not. Was it Draculina? Draculina is the one where she's it was Draculina, because she's supposed to be a young girl who transforms into a mature adult woman vampire.
Yep.
Or something like that. She lives like a split life or something. But there was like a really weird scene at the beginning with her going pee, and like the focus of the panels was like in that direction. Like they showed her like undergarments like pulled down, and I was like, I feel like this didn't need to be in there.
But like this was the artist's fault.
But he wrote
part of the story.
It's for both, but I was just like, this feels a little, I don't know, not into it. But I did like the story overall, but that one scene threw me off. Just as a mom, I'm like, I'll beat somebody's ass.
I think the only thing of that Vampirella stuff I read was the one where it was all 6 characters within like one book. And Priest was writing it. I read that, and really I was drawn in by the covers on that because all those women looked good like all the time.
I'm like,
a town in Georgia that was like vampires, and it was next town was like trying to kill them and stuff like that. I really didn't know what it was about. I was like, it looks good.
I pick and choose Dynamite books. Like I read Nyx. Yeah. I did enjoy Nyx. I read Draculina, which I did like, and then like Vampirella, it depends. Like I've read Holy Matrimony, I liked it, but I'm not, in general, I'll pass. There's too many of them. There's too many variations of the characters, and their cover game is intense.
It's a Dynamite cover game, because they realize people
almost like if you compare that to Ambassadors, like poll both of them up, and you're like, all right, which one's better?
Dynamite book in that case. But I think the best thing I probably enjoyed from that, you remember when Dynamite did that whole zombie apocalypse thing?
The zombie apocalypse.
I enjoyed that. I think Fred Valenti was the writer for that. And it like had John Carter from Mars and like Project Superpowers.
John Carter from Mars should have been a hit. I don't know.
Right, it should have been a hit.
It should have been.
But,
they just made too many mistakes.
You know what I'm secretly big into? Conan.
Really?
Schwarzenegger Conan or Jason Momoa Conan?
I just lied to you guys. Just the video game. Conan, Conan, the Age of the Exiles game. I'm obsessed. Like I have so many hours in it. The reason you guys don't see me on Twitter lately is because I just re-sparked my passion for it. The way I have like hundreds of hours in this game, and we have a mutual friend, Tara Saint. When I tell you, I'm messaging him like, get on. So I'm working like, no, we gotta protect the base. we gotta protect the base. The purge is coming.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
I love the lore in it, and it's the game is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but it's also like the greatest thing. And you could like toggle nudity in the game. It's like it's an online game.
Yeah.
And I always forget. And my kids ruin everything. They always walk by like, why? And I'm like, I just died. I just died. I gotta get my clothes back.
Yeah.
You make it. Is it Age of Conan? Is that what it is?
No, Conan. What's it called?
It's called
Conan Exiles.
You making me look at that.
Age
I
of
know.
Exiles.
I know right now it's Age of Sword.
It's good.
Exiles Online. I see it now.
Yeah.
When I tell you, like, I upgrade my base. I do all that. Like, I'm like a professional. I love that game so much.
Shoot, you never know.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played it. Because it came out, like, I had to look it up, 2017.
Yeah,
like, it didn't feel that long ago. But I was
remember
I guess
last
so.
I played was during the pandemic. I really think.
Yeah, that's when that's when I first started playing, and I was like, oh, this would probably be better with friends, like if I had friends. And so then I'm very introverted, but I made an effort to make internet friends, and I was like, Conan, and it turned out that one of the people we had was like 12.
Nice.
And he got like reamed. He got in so much trouble one day. We just heard like a boom. You're on that game again, and we've never heard from him again. He sent me like a message like a few weeks later, and he was like, yeah, I can't get on anymore. But I was like, you're 12. Like, I don't know if he was using a voice changer, but his voice was like, and I felt so bad just as a parent because I was cussing. I was telling this guy, I was like, get your ass out there and like you need to contribute, be a contributing member. And then when you die, you're topless and stuff. And so I'm like, my character was nude around this guy. He's like 12. I'm like, that's probably why you got in trouble, because your mom saw what you were playing.
So you playing with these grown ass women?
Yes. And it's crazy because there's no sexual stuff in the game. Like, there's nothing inherently sexual, but it's just the fact that you could have your bare chest or bottom out. Well, not on console. On console, no bottoms, but
yeah, only Steam.
They do have a dong slider though, if you're interested.
What?
Yeah, you could pick on PC. You could pick how big your endowment is.
Oh my!
Yeah. That's some wish fulfillment right there.
I play on PlayStation 5, but they also introduced something recently where you can like go to a table and change your appearance in game now. So even if your character is already established, and so I saw this person like go and then come back, and now you have like your breasts were not that big 10 minutes ago, right? Now you're like 8 feet tall.
It was quick surgery. That was all.
Yeah. In the middle of the desert in medieval times.
And this is what they say: people have too much time on their head. But I mean, people make this game because they're making a killing, probably.
I for sure bought like most of the DLCs. And...
Right. On Apple TV, they talk about that. The guy who play Ahmed on a Community, he's on there. Yeah. Brad, the head of monetization, and he be like, "I'm just gonna sell this and stuff. I'm gonna sell it to them. They're gonna buy it."
Dead by Daylight, I buy the fashion. I don't care about the game. I just, that's a cute outfit. I'm gonna play for the next 3 weeks, and then not touch it again for 6 months.
Do Do you ever feel bad about it? You realize how much money you've wasted on stupid stuff like video games?
The Sims. The Sims.
Like they give you like a little bill, like say, "Oh, this is how much you're spending this month," and you realize I could have like went out to got a steak dinner for all this.
Exactly.
Stuff.
That's why I stopped buying stuff on games. I'm like, I ain't buying.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that was like, if you put all of the packs together for The Sims 4, you've spent like 900 and blah 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 blah. And I was like, let me make sure my husband never sees this tweet.
but Elle, you should encourage your children to go into video game development. They could be like,
oh, my daughter does. My daughter makes little games and stuff, and she does art. She's a drawer. She does all that stuff. My husband's in video games. He works in video games.
Mythic That's $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
All my kids they're all into it. And Robux, please. If we ever got a receipt for how much money combined, and then my sons are like, oh, they caught on that. Oh, you could spend real money and get stuff in the game. Because before it was just my daughter. So now I'm like, I have 3 of y'all asking me for gift cards.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, no.
Dude, I've been trying to lock it, and then my mother-in-law, she'll get them like $100, and I'm like, dang, this is like the worst thing in the world. Because now as soon as that $100 goes out, they're looking at daddy like, you know. Yeah. The concept of money is just, I just ask daddy, I take it in. But now my oldest girls got to a point she realized I have money in my wallet. So I have to hide my wallet before I come home. I have to like, it's awful.
And that's like a daddy-daughter thing, because I feel like my daughter knows the only thing in my wallet is like a debit card and maybe my insurance card if I remember to put it in there. Like, I don't keep money on me at all. I'll just like tell my husband, can you sell me? but my daughter knows that he keeps money, and so she keeps money, and she'll just randomly pop up with like $60. Like, where did this come from? How do you have more money than me?
Well, will your daughter lend you money? Well, let me ask you this: will your daughter give you money or lend you money? Because I was kind of kid, but like, can I borrow some money? I'm like, yeah, you can borrow it, but it's gonna be this with interest.
My kids are very like, as much as I want to like punch them in the throat sometimes, like my kids are very like caring and sharing, like they're very kind, so like it would never be like a situation where you're gonna pay me back, like that's not how it works. You're gifting this is a gift.
You turn on those lights and then light came on.
You're welcome.
But I also like, what is it, like Mean Girls, like I'm a cool mom, so I'm pretty. I like to feel like I'm.
That's like saying 90210. Like Kelly's mother on 90210 was cool. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I've said it before. I was like, I'm a cool mom, not a good mom. I'm pretty chill. But my kids are pretty chill, so luckily, like I haven't had to experience anything too crazy.
My 6-year-old is actually 4 feet 6 inches tall right now. And 85 pounds, and she is by far the biggest kid in her school, her little school. Like, she's bigger than the 3rd graders, and she just turned 6, so she just destroys everything. She just runs through walls. Like, she should have been a boy. If she was a boy, like she'd be going to the NBA right now. Like,
hey man, you got the WNBA dreams, hoop dreams, female version.
No, they don't make enough money in WNBA. You go to college.
Well, I mean, but let's look at the old girl. I can't think of her name from LSU. Barbie, she monetizes.
I know sports.
Yeah, she's monetized herself completely now.
Yeah, she makes over $1.2 million a year in college.
And I love that for her.
Yeah, I'm mad because I'm like, NIL deals. Where the hell was NIL deal when I was in college? I was scraping by. I was like,
NIL.
My daughter is super tall, uncoordinated. She's 11. She's 5'5". And we wear the same size shoe now, which is disgusting. But it's beautiful because like I don't like to shop, and I'm like, I'm just gonna borrow yours. But because she's into stuff like that right now, but she's the most uncoordinated. So I'm really banking on the art thing with her. Like, let this come through. I support you 100% because it's not going to be the sports teams for her. It's just not happening. She stubs her toe standing up. So like, we really need for this. And I don't want to like antiquate, like be like, you're tall, you're getting tall, you could be a model. Like, no, like, make this art thing happen.
Have multiple plans. Like, hey, let's do this modeling thing to fund this art thing later on.
Yeah, I remember I went from 5'3" to 5'11" in like a year, and and then this continued to grow. But like I was totally uncoordinated, and then all of a sudden it just hit me. And you find a sport, so it doesn't matter. Maybe it's volleyball, maybe it's something. So just
because all my brothers, they're pretty. Well, now I'm lying. One of my brothers is athletic, but all my brothers are very tall, like 6'4" and over. And so she's just, her greatest fear right now is she doesn't want to grow anymore. She's like, I'm done. I don't want to be any taller than this. And I was like, I'm sorry, but there's no short people in either side of the family. So sorry, friend.
Hey, my little cousin was a starting small forward in Northwestern. She's 6'5". So me and her look eye to eye. Like,
6'5". 6'5" taller than me. I'm 6'3". Like,
her dad is 6'11", so yeah.
Oh well, there's that.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy. Tara is 6'1".
Are you 6'1"?
Not fine.
In spirit.
In spirit.
In my heart. In my heart.
Yeah, heart of 6'1".
You project as 6'1".
Yeah, that's right.
I always think that's interesting, especially not being on camera. When people tell me about myself, and I'm like, I just go with it. I've been called short. I've been called all kinds of things. I'm like, yeah, like let you have that mental image that I'm a hobbit.
Not hobbits.
So comic books and but like trailers and stuff. How do you guys feel about what comic book trailers have come out recently? The Marvels, is that what it's called?
Yes. And I did see that, and I was surprised. Well, I shouldn't have been surprised by the hate it was getting. The first thing was this looks fun. That was my first thought, but then I saw the hate it was getting.
Yeah, I just read an article like this morning when I woke up that it is the most hated trailer or most disliked trailer Marvel from MCU in the first 24 hours. So
what's crazy?
Why? It didn't make any sense.
I have complaints about it. But it has nothing to do with the concept. I just thought that it didn't looks. It's too early to drop a trailer for one, and then two, I feel like it was more of a Disney Plus type of feel to it, but nothing to do with. Some people just hate Brie Larson. That's just what it is.
That's what it is.
Which is irrational to me too. I'm like, you got a person to know this chick?
Yeah.
No, you have no idea about it.
She hurt their feelings in the first one, and they just can't drop it.
I've never seen the first one. I'm very whatever about the MCU. I'll pick and choose. But this looked fun. It looked cute. Like you know what? But it does have a big like streaming vibe to it. Like it did. It looked like a fun like buddy comedy. And I think Kamala is just, her enthusiasm is just so like, she's such a kid and I love it.
She's the best part.
And so it looks fun. I don't know. I would rather see this than Captain Marvel, the first one. I just didn't have any interest.
I mean, and I can see that, and I like that we got to see Photon in there. Yana Paris is in there. I like that she's in. I was surprised to see Nick Fury in the trailer. I was Nick Fury's gonna be in this. Okay, but it makes sense,
Or is he Nick Fury? Right? Am I right?
This time the Secret Invasion is going to be before the Marvel, so it will be Nick Fury by that time.
Unless
they do something crazy.
I'm just kidding. I don't know how any of that works. I'm not like the biggest Marvel fan, so in my head, they peeled his skin off and put it on their own body, right? Is that what they do?
And see, if you see in the first Captain Marvel, you'd understand how it works.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It'll be more like changelings. Like I don't know. I watch Star Trek too, but it's like changelings.
You said change made me think about Picard, Star Trek Picard.
Dude, don't get me started on Star Trek Picard.
Episode 9, it's at the streaming record.
Because it's the best thing I've ever seen. Like I'm literally, after we do this show, going to do a solo review over the last 6 through 9 as soon as we're done.
You said a solo review. None of my friends wanted to.
We don't watch it. I was never a big Star Trek fan. Like I'll probably watch it like now knowing how great it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not the biggest Star Trek.
I am the biggest Star Trek fan. I think they asked me if any show I could watch, I would pick Star Trek because it's 881 hours of Star Trek available. Yep. You can watch that.
I'll sit there and just when I'm bored, I put on an episode of Star Trek from season 3. All right, I know what's going on, but I just watch it. I'll watch all 22 episodes of season 3 or season 4. Well,
I start playing Star Trek on YouTube from Trek Culture to all the different things because they'll have me going forever today. Like,
and then this season 3 of Picard is really all about everything we've ever learned from all those previous seasons, all the previous movies. They're bringing everything in to this one season, and the nostalgia field is just like off the chain.
Nostalgia, but my one complaint is like, I would like to have seen characters from Deep Space Nine. You haven't seen anybody from Deep Space Nine directly,
Yeah, because they wouldn't agree to come on, and they wanted to keep this all about the next generation.
We've seen Origin people on here though. We have, I guess technically Worf is the Deep Space Nine character. He is the Deep Space Nine character as well.
Yeah, he is technically, yeah.
Now, I do watch Star Trek, but only the big 3: Deep Space, Voyager, and Enterprise. None of the other seasons of space exist. You
don't watch Strange New Worlds? You don't watch Lower Decks?
Strange New Worlds is interesting, but I say the other 3 are better.
Yeah, I do watch Lower Decks. I gotta get caught up on Lower Decks. Lower Decks was awesome. Like it's a cartoon, kind of goofy version, and I thought that was really, really like good.
Yeah, Tawny Newsome is hilarious, and so I love Lower Decks. I have watched.
I can see you loving Lower Decks because
you said because you're an amateur.
I get Mariner energy from you, Elle. You definitely give me Mariner energy. And Sergio is your boiler.
Sergio before the show messaging us, are you guys going to talk about the comics? Don't worry about it. Are you guys going to talk about comics? Maybe.
Well, I mean, a movie that's like a comic, the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse one. That one. I am so excited for that in June. I love the comic book feel of it. I love the way the artist and how they're drawing all the stuff is going to be amazing. I can't wait. Every time I watch the trailer, I just kind of like stop and just in awe that they were able to think about this, and pull this off.
And in fact, it's a two-part movie, right? It's like this is part one with a larger story. Okay,
I think they changed the name where like it was something else, part 1, part 2, but I think they changed it but it's still like a direct double feature. I don't know.
It's a double feature. Yeah,
it's kind of like Infinity War Endgame was part 1, part 2. They kind of did something like that.
You gonna get 6 months apart, probably something like that.
Ooh, that would be nice. But
that would be nice.
A long time though.
Yeah, but it felt very comic booky because it's like it goes all out with just the craziness of like, hey, here's 100 million different Spider-Man. It's like,
and all of them are there.
They just show all. Even like the funny, goofy part of like Spider-Man where they're all doing the pointing, but it's just like everyone's doing it. So it looks really good. And Oscar Isaac, is
great. So he's playing Miguel O'Hara, and
Spider-Man 2099.
Bad Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, so he's gonna be interesting. Awesome. That's gonna be great. Daniel Kaluuya is gonna be Spider-Punk.
Issa Rae's gonna be Jessica Drew, and she's pregnant in this, right?
Yep.
Oh, she looks like that.
Yeah, she looks like she is.
Yeah. You guys, let's not. No, I'm just kidding. Let's not project. She just has a spider belly,
Spider belly.
You cannot be a spider person and be technically you could, but you shouldn't be all that running and jumping you're doing to be a spider person.
Well, the baby is covered in a silk womb.
Exactly.
Little spider sack.
No problem.
There's multiple eggs in there.
But Jessica Drew did have a baby a couple years ago. I don't know where that baby is now, but she did have one in the comic books. I remember that. Just like Selena Kyle, Catwoman had a baby, but she gave her baby up. I do remember that before DC retconned it. She did give it up. I was like, the father? Who was the father though? No, I can never get clarity on that.
She said, "Y'all know who it is."
It wasn't Bruce Wayne.
It's none of your business. Don't worry about it.
It's Alfred.
Alfred's like, yeah, Master Bruce going out there.
That's fun.
How's it going?
The Spider-Verse thing is I'm really interested because it's very multicultural. So you're getting Black, Hispanic, white, everyone in the same movie. You're seeing all iterations of all of them. So I mean that's going to be very Spider-Man India.
𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 Nanjiani, I think, is playing him.
So I mean you're getting a lot of stuff. You're getting Vulture. You're getting everyone, and this is the best multiverse movie, in my opinion. I mean, the best setup for a multiverse movie, and I'm hoping that it delivers. If it delivers anything like the first one did, because I think the first one was the best movie that came out that year, and that's the same year.
I mean, it won an Oscar. I mean, it was great. I mean, basically, I think it reinvigorated Sony. Like, oh, we can do Spider-Man movies without Marvel,
as long as we do, as long as it's animated. We can do it and we can pull it off. If you give it a chance. I mean, I think if you like comic books, you're going to love this and what they do with this.
Yeah, I'm definitely. It's a day one for me. I'm definitely going to go see that.
I wonder if there's any. They should do like a post-credit scene with the live action and the animated Roger Rabbit style. That'd be crazy.
I mean, there's a big rumor that Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland are in it somehow.
Right.
So that'd be kind of interesting.
And I think I heard Easter egg, they mentioned Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It's like, well, that Spider-Man from that universe with that Doctor Strange messed everything up, you know.
And they tell you that, you know, it's not the 616 universe. They tell you it's a different type of universe. So
it's like the 19999.
Yeah, some long number.
Yeah.
So they're changing things up, and then you know that things are different. So I'm so interested in watching that.
Yeah, which is funny because the actress who plays Kamala Khan was there Arman. I forget what her name is, but she on one of the red carpets, she's like, "Oh yeah, this ain't the 16 or 616. It's the 19999." And then Kevin, yes, and then
knows her stuff.
She knows, and then Kevin Feige comes out, no, and it was like, and then all the fans are like, "No, we agree with her."
Agree with her.
And even Sony was like, "Oh, the fans like it. All right, we're gonna run with it." So even like Sony kind of like knew like what people really want. There you go. There goes Chipmonger. 1999.99.
Oh, Mr. Star Wars himself is in the room.
I'm behind on Star Wars. I'm behind on The Mandalorian, but because I've been watching Star Trek so much. Really, that's what it really has, man.
I watch it all. So
I watch it all too, but I'm behind on that Mandalorian, but I don't think it's going the way of Andor. Because Andor, I'm like, all right, still in episode 5, going to 6.
Good, just stop. Just stop. You're okay. Don't worry about it.
I won't finish Mandalorian because I enjoyed the Mandalorian, and
I enjoy it. A lot of people are hating season 3, and I, for the most part, really like season 3.
Why?
Because
Lizzo's on season 3. Is that why? Anytime I know people hating it, like, oh, well, somebody who traditionally is in Star Wars or Star Trek is in this thing. That's why we hate it.
Yeah.
It's the focus. The people that don't like the focus not being on Din Djarin, and I think it's okay. Let things
telling a story.
Let follow the story. Yeah. Trust. If you're reading the comic book, trust the writer. If you're watching something, trust what they're going with it, and see where it gets to. And then at the end, critique it. Mm-hmm. And until you get to that end, you don't know anything.
I mean, but to the Mandalorian strip, I like how they brought Ahsoka in. I like how they like Bo-Katan, and I like how they brought Luke Skywalker. They do an excellent job of picking up threads from animated stuff and making it live action or taking stuff. I'm like, enjoy it. Why hate on it?
I've only watched Obi-Wan because that's my era.
Your era.
I'm a Jar Jar Binks apologist. I love him. He can do no wrong.
I've never heard anybody say that, but okay.
You are the first person I ever say that.
Well, you got to watch season 3 because
the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. I'm best is actually in it.
Yeah. And they give him some justice.
He's
they
like
make him a badass.
Shrek adjacent to me in terms of who's on my hierarchy, my not human hierarchy of characters. It's like Jar Jar and Shrek are pretty up there. And but I did like Obi-Wan, and I'm probably gonna watch Ahsoka. Because I love me some Hayden Christensen, so I'm probably gonna end up watching that too. I did read the Obi-Wan comics too.
Yes, he's in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's in Ahsoka?
I don't know how much, but I think he said he's in it. Yeah.
Man, Hayden Christensen, I gotta respect him. He's like, I show up and get my check,
Watch Ahsoka just for Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson is fine. She's beyond fine. I don't care how old she get. I don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Outside of that, my only frame of reference for Star Wars is Knights of the Old Republic. It's one of my favorite games. Mm-hmm. But my brothers were like super hardcore into Star Wars. But for me, it was always just like for Hayden Christensen, Jar Jar, and I like the Queen Amidala aesthetic. But outside of that, I'm not quite sure ever what's happening, but I'll watch them.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, and I've heard, I mean, y'all have to correct me that they're basically going to do like 3 different eras of Star Wars: the Acolytes in the past, the ratio is going to be in the future, and I guess they're going to continue with the Mandalorian and all this stuff in present day Star Wars.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be the world between worlds is going to be nuts. So, just wait till Ahsoka and a lot of stuff's going to kind of come through, and you're going to see Star Wars is going crazy. And you could go anywhere within it. Hopefully, it brings it back to something that everyone can watch.
I mean, but
a lot of people hate it, like just all of it.
What's the complaint? I mean, the only of the new movies I saw them all. I liked them all. I did say of The Last Jedi. I said, well, if you're a Skywalker fan, you probably won't enjoy it so much because it's kind of the Skywalkers aren't special. You don't really need them. Anybody can be a Jedi. Okay, I get that, but people want to see what happened with Luke Skywalker. To me.
So for somebody who has no frame of reference here, so Rey ended up being Palpatine's daughter, or I made that up?
Granddaughter.
Oh, I love me
clone,
some Palpatine too, though. Palpatine is fantastic.
The Force is made.
Unlimited power. Give me a scene with Palpatine in it that's not hilarious, right? And so I never followed through with watching all of the newer movies. So, but then I saw like some talk about the new Rey movies that are supposed to be coming out, and they're like, "Well, she's a Palpatine," and I'm like, that piqued my interest, and I said, I will now be watching these movies because I love me some Palpatine.
She's a Palpatine that's usurped the Skywalker name, though.
I know.
The last Skywalker.
She's a clone's daughter. So it's kind of it's weird.
Imagine what if the real ones are like, well, we actually came from Dad's false. you're just his daughter.
And I just got out. I'm surprised they don't do a show to show how her parents came together and got in a relationship.
There's a movie right there. No lightsabers, no force.
Oh, what's up, Lucas?
With his bald head.
Got
no hair yet.
How old is he?
7 months.
Almost makes me miss babies.
That's what y'all talking about, like
Super
all the
cute
in the bathroom. I'm like, oh man, don't say that.
Yeah, it's gonna be so bad. Just he's growing up so much. It's crazy.
Yeah. And he likes being down here, seeing all the lights. It's like all the lights. He's like, what?
Sparkly.
Yeah. That's why y'all guys are talking about like all the craziness. So I'm like, oh man, like that's what's coming for me.
Is he your first?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Get ready.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Wait till he's 9 months. Wait till he stands up. When he stands up,
that's
over.
When
everything goes downhill.
He's getting close.
Kids, but I have plenty of younger siblings, and I do remember they started there walking. And mama, you watch that baby. You watch that baby.
I think the best phase is like probably between like 2 and 7 months. Like they're okay enough. You've had them long enough to know they're okay, but they haven't started moving or talking yet.
Yeah, you want the potato phase.
Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah, but then now he's grabbing everything. Everything is like food. And puts it right in his mouth. He's like, no, don't eat the phone.
Put everything in their mouth, because I guess that's what babies. Oh, I can put stuff in my mouth and get a taste of it.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. That's how they explore the world. So,
yeah, but like he just woke up and I was like, oh,
that is him.
And I think one of our trailers. Have y'all seen this Penguin trailer? Because somebody.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
What do you think about that? Yeah, because
I'm a Batman fan personally. One of my favorite podcasts right now is called 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, extremely true podcast, true crime podcast, and it's Bobby Moynihan, and he's playing Batman. And every episode, he interrogates a member of like the Justice League because he thinks one of them might be the person who killed his family.
What?
And it's funny. Every episode, the 3 suspects are the Joker, Tony Shalhoub, and whatever guest he has on. And it's so funny. But every time he gets a little sad, he starts like humming that Nirvana song. And it's so ridiculous. It's like my favorite thing. It is unfortunately behind a paywall, but it's like one of my favorite podcasts. It's so funny.
He knows it. That's why behind the paywall.
He's like, I know what I got here.
Oh man, I mean, I saw it looked good, but I was like, it's too early for me to tell because I think I'm on the fence. I'm the minority. I'm like, the Batman was good, but it wasn't as good as y'all said it was. I mean, everybody.
Hold on, I'm about to mute him. He's about to get to Sergio. What did he say? What did he say at the end of the trailer though? I watched it like 6 times and I couldn't figure it out.
I don't know.
Did he say something about Gotham or?
I'm gonna be the kingpin of Gotham. I think that's what he said.
I thought he said I'm the Penguin of Gotham. And I was like, okay, like why would you like weird flex?
But with that being said, Colin Farrell was very good as the Penguin in there. Just like I said, Zoe Kravitz was very good as Catwoman. Yes, really, Robert Pattinson's my whole problem. He don't know what they went outstandingly good to me. Like, well,
really, I thought he did a really good job too. I think
I liked it.
He needs to be a better Bruce Wayne, but he was a good Batman.
He was a very good Batman.
Okay, all right. Tank, okay. I think you got it right there. Because he was a blob Bruce Wayne.
But I think that's how they wrote that character. Like, he didn't care about being Bruce Wayne. He just wanted to be Batman. But I was like, maybe because he's young at being Batman. But hopefully in the sequel, he starts to realize, like, hey, I
have to keep my persona now. I have to figure out. I have to have my secret identity. It has to be something. When you're young, you don't give a F about that. He's just trying to be Batman right now. Yeah. So I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, like let Bruce Wayne die. But I mean, even Christian Bale's Batman kind of went through that. Where he stopped caring about being Bruce Wayne, and then Alfred's like, hey, listen, dude, you got to be both. So.
You want to keep paying for this?
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one paying for this, but the Nolan Batman, I like how he just like, I'm just going to disappear for 7 years, and pop up like ain't nothing changed. Like, oh, I'm here to take back my company, like, what? Wasn't that Rutger Hauer's the CEO? Like, you came back from where? We had you declared dead, bro.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm obviously not.
He's
dead.
like, chill, guys. Can I go on vacation?
Without telling anyone,
bachelor, come on.
Alfred knew where I was, and Alfred is the OG because Alfred keep them stocks and keep them shares. Like, Yep.
Which I
would do, but after a point, I'd be like, if you don't want it, just sign it over.
Well, in the comic books, you find out like
Alfred's
he's got a bunch of money, and then when he dies, he gives it all to Dick Grayson. So it's like, and Dick Grayson's like, wait, what? How much money you got? He's like, you just as rich as Bruce.
Exactly.
So not him cosplaying a butler. I just like the outfit.
Yeah, but Tank, I love the fact that Alfred was a billionaire and sitting on this money all these years.
He didn't tell anybody about it. Yeah, that's really cool.
All right, I know you guys got to go.
Because isn't Dick Grayson richer than Bruce Wayne in the comic books now? Like what?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. The Joker, where they took his money, took a chunk of his money.
Yeah,
and so is Lucius Fox. Lucius Fox got a chunk of that money too, I think.
Yeah.
But I just like how once he got all this money, he didn't know what to do with it. So he went to Bruce, and Bruce was like, "What? Like I went from being poor, to like the richest man in the world now." And Bruce is like, "Yeah, do what you want with it.
Have fun."
Yeah,
but he learned a lesson because y'all remember Warren Ellis years. I think Warren Ellis the first one started. So Alfred's like, "I fear I've raised somebody, a rich man that goes out and beat on poor people every night." I think he did that first. He wrote that, and now it's become such a common thing on Reddit threads and Facebook. Batman is a fascist, and Batman beats up on poor people. And Batman should be doing this with his money. So Dick Grayson's like, I'm gonna start this thing to kind of fix the whole city blood hate.
Did you guys see like that parody sketch? And it was like, Batman was like, no, he beats the homeless so they have somewhere to stay for the night.
I don't think I saw that one.
He gets these people arrested so they have a warm place to sleep. That's what he was saying.
That's funny.
I was like, he's altruistic. I knew it all along.
That's cool, man.
Cleaning up the streets. That's terrible.
But that whole Batman is a fascist that showed up in the George Lopez says it in the Blue Beetle trailer.
You're right. He does say that.
Yeah, right at the end, he goes, "Oh, it's like the bat bell or bat whatever," and then he goes, "Oh, Batman's a fascist." That got so much backlash by a lot of these other YouTuber channels that they were so angry. They're like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "It's a fake character talking about another fake character. Chill, man. Like, it's not that big of a deal, And it's in a trailer, so I'm sure there's gonna be like context or something. Somebody's gonna say something like, "Oh, you're stupid," Uncle Jose, you're crazy.
Hey, he's a rich guy that beats up on.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been a thing. It's been a thing for a while now.
By a lot of these. He said it. No,
But
let me start some YouTube wars.
Yeah.
Now with chill.
No, with chill.
I don't think with chill.
But the Blue Beetle trailer looked good too. I was surprised how well that looked to me. I was okay. This does look fun. You know, you got the boy from Cobra Kai.
Was perfect. He's a perfect.
Yep. And that was
especially when that beetle got on him. I was like, oh, this shit looked kind of scary.
It was nuts. I was like, man, you just gonna pick him up like that? What is going on? And destroy the house? I would have been pretty upset about the house thing.
Yeah, that was a natural reaction. That happened in real life. People be screaming like, "Oh my god, what's going on here?"
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, let's see.
What about the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer?
Now let's talk about movies that matter.
What do you have against Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't have anything against it. I actually like the first one, but I just feel like another one, like they keep, and then I just feel like it's just a lot of shenanigans. And I heard like them talk about recently. I heard like some podcasters talking about like next thing you know they're gonna start doing like live action holiday movies with the MCU, and they're like, yeah.
Oh no.
And it was pretty good. Like, it was pretty good.
It was funny. I like how they brought Kevin Bacon in there. That was funny to me.
Yeah.
Juan said the YouTube wars will be road rules versus real world back in the day.
Hey, I'm good with that. I'm pretty athletic. This still works.
So which one would you like better, Road Rules or Real World? Which one was better?
Road Rules.
Road Rules, yeah.
Road
I
Rules,
like Road Rules.
That was more fun, but I'm like, man, just saying token, it's like you could chill a lot more on Real World. Like
you said you get to stay at home, relax. No, because the older ones they made you get a job.
Yeah, they did.
I'm like, not y'all making me work while I'm working.
I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
On my work vacation.
That always made me laugh about like Jersey Shore. I'm like, not y'all giving them a vacation home and then making them go to work at a t-shirt shop.
Yeah. Oh my.
So what is it? What did they actually have jobs on Jersey Shore? Because I vaguely remember.
Yeah, they had to do like promo and stuff, and they had to do they had to work at that shop.
Yeah. Okay. Like, so they all got famous for being on their show.
Yeah.
I mean, at this level, they just get paid to have drama. But when it first started,
the situation, that's all I remember right now.
I never watched it religiously, but I watched it enough to like get. I'm a secret like 90 Day Fiance, Discovery Plus kind of lady. Yeah.
I mean, I really did. My last girlfriend, she was like that, and I got Discovery Plus, and I just had.
Oh, he said the last one. No, I'm just kidding. He said,
okay. But we start watching when Ed with the short neck was on there.
Oh God.
Big Ed.
That guy became a superstar. He was on podcasts. He was on news. He was on everything.
But did he find love though, Tank?
He found a lot of money. He found a lot of zeros.
And he found a lot of love.
Yeah.
Now my favorite was the guy in Florida, Robert. Robert and the lady from Dominican. And she was like, the grandma was like a porn star. She's like, no, you a whore. He said, you a whore. I'm not a whore. I'm like, dang, what?
Oh, Sergio must have took it off. I used to have a clip on here of when on that season where the girl snatched the hat off of him.
Yeah, I remember that clip.
Because he always wore a hat, like he always wore a hat everywhere. And then she got fed up with him, and she was like, "I'm gonna take," and she snatched the hat off of him. And he. Why does he do that? He's like bald, but he had like a little patch of hair in the back.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Try to hold on to it. He needs to get that armpit implants.
But then he reached in his backpack and he had a backup hat.
Because he was a New Yorker that relocated to Florida. And I remember the whole thing. He had like 6 kids, and he had 7. Like he had kids already, like 5 kids. He had this little kid when he met her, and she's had a baby since they've been married.
Unhinged.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Crazy.
And you said that, and that could literally describe like any season, any cast member. The only thing that has recently made me very uncomfortable is Seeking Brother Husband.
Oh yeah.
That show makes me very uncomfortable because I feel like it's like a Dateline special waiting to happen.
It really is. All they need is that guy in the background.
Yeah. Now, Seeking Sister Wives, I feel like that kind of polyamory is like more widely acceptable. But when you cheat on your husband and then he's like, okay, you can have other boyfriends, I'm like, this doesn't feel like it's gonna work out how you think it's going to.
Yeah, someone's gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. Someone's gotta go.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I look at y'all ever look at HBC's confessions on Twitter. Look at that, and some of the comments there. Somebody said,
Shaida. Yeah, she was Bilal is the worst. When I tell you, I know men like him, and girl, walking red flag.
Hey,
you're like, I'm Team Bilal. Bilal was the worst.
Y'all gonna make me look this up because I don't know this Bilal. I'm behind. I got Discovery Plus.
He was the one who played the prank. He brought her from like the Bahamas or the tropics or wherever she's from, Turks and Caicos, something like that, and brought her to his home, but brought her to his childhood home that was dilapidated, and picked her up in a van, like a work van, yeah, and made it look like he was like not well off and just living in the slums and stuff, and then he was like, gotcha, I actually have a really nice house and a really nice car. I just wanted to know if you were with me for me.
I'm like, testing her.
But I was like, but you've been with her for how long? And even when he would like go on video with her before she came out there, he would angle it so she couldn't see his surroundings, so she wouldn't know that he has money. And I was like, girl, and you're okay with that? Like, oh.
What country is she coming from? Because they like, I just want to get over here.
But that's another thing though. But she had her own business, her own yoga studio. Like she was doing her own thing. She didn't need him. She loved him, and that's why the show is depressing. Because usually it's one who like actually is like invested, and then the other one, and you could tell it's you just waiting for them to realize it. Except for that season, you remember the one where he was like, she smells. I would never ever go on TV again.
Oh my god!
Somebody calls you that says you smell.
Yeah, he was like,
it's on TV.
Yes, on
everyone.
It was on the reunion special. Was like, yeah, we couldn't be intimate because she had some feminine odor problems. Yes, and I said, girl, why would you ever in life
walk off the stage?
No, like literally, like all of a sudden you're gonna see a gun up here. And then she shoots him, and no jury is gonna. It's gonna be a jury of all women, and they're all going to say innocent.
The difference between reality shows on Discovery and reality shows on Bravo, because on Bravo, Real Housewives, somebody would have gotten in the fight. Shot somebody up there.
I like Below Deck too. That's my other. I love boat shows. Wouldn't go on one myself, but.
Wait a minute, what's the premise of Below Deck? Because
it's just about like the inner workings of and the drama between like the deckhands and the stewardesses and stuff.
Are they on a cruise ship?
On private yachts.
Private yachts.
Because everybody I know is on the cruise ship I was on. I like nobody's from the U.S. Everybody's like from Indonesia, the Philippines, India, or some African country.
I love documentaries about how cruise ships work, but cruises aren't for me. But I love the inner workings of it.
And I mean, I would stay up late and like go to the club and come back down at 2:00 in the morning. And I be sitting them in there like working. I'm like, damn, it's 2:00 in the morning.
Not you having to work.
Oh, y'all gotta watch Triangle of Sadness then.
Oh,
rich people on like a boat cruise kind of thing.
Is that what it's about? Because now I know what it's about. Okay.
It's about a few things. It's like 3 separate parts. That first part's weird, and then there's the boat part, and then there's the island part.
The one when they're on the island, that's kind of
it's crazy. Yeah, but the boat part is the best. Like Woody Harrelson's is a drunk socialist captain. And he's just surrounded by rich, capitalist people. So it's funny.
Did y'all see what Chill just said?
Yeah, and I wasn't gonna acknowledge it because I feel like we need to let him go through what he's going through.
Well, didn't Danny cancel his Twitter, or did he remove?
I thought you were about to say something else. I was like, let's not.
But did he?
Get accusatorial.
I thought he pulled himself off. I mean, because I think I heard it from y'all when we were talking. I was like, man, what happened to Danny Case? Yeah,
there was like. I don't know what's going on. And then Megan had changed her last name back to just Hutchison on some accounts and stuff. But she recently tweeted something that was like they were together somewhere or something. Like I saw something like that. So I don't know. Just as long as it translates into more books, you know, use that energy creatively, not destructively, hopefully.
Exactly.
So I know you guys got to go. So if everybody just wants to give a recommendation, because I did tell Tara we were going to talk TV shows and stuff too. Or just like
Tara, what TV show do you recommend?
recently watched or suggestions that are about to drop.
I'm interested in seeing what's going to come from the Continental prequel to John Wick.
We did that.
Did you guys see that one already? And I'm enjoying. I just finished Beef, and
I love Beef.
Beef is so good.
I gotta watch it.
So good.
I gotta watch it.
My
we gotta
sweet
get back
baby
together
angels.
when it's done.
I like, and Tara has a background in psychology, and it's so funny because I'm sitting here watching this. I'm just like, I just need both of my children to come sit down together. You guys would be such good friends. Like, let's just work this out. You guys are both sweet angels. And it was me just I don't know why. I was like bawling on episode 2. Oh, the church scene. I'm crying too. And
I saw that.
But I know the toxic nature of like especially like immigrants and the church and the American church. And I know there's such like a toxic and so I'm watching it and I'm like, I want to root for you, but this feels wrong. There's something's about to pop off. Okay, Tara. Okay.
Sorry.
We're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for coming on. The winner was All 8 Eyes. It was 55-45.
Really?
For which I think this next episode is the 2-year anniversary episode or something.
Oh wow.
Of the show. Nice. I think. I don't know. I wasn't there from the beginning, you know.
Me neither.
And then I heard the original cast is gonna be.
You're really wrong.
It's gonna be.
You keep on saying that.
I'm gonna rumor it into fruition, guys.
The original cast, House of Nerds cast is showing up.
The whole crew, the secret hosts, the ones who didn't make it to the end, the ones who were asked ahead of time, everybody, the whhole crew. Nice. Maybe even people's parents, because if
you pull that off, Sergio will just leave. Just people like I'm out.
You mean I'm gonna wake up to all the passwords changed and
hard to imagine, right?
You're out of here. No, it's gonna be a good time. I think we're all on for that one. And then if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure on Friday is open bar, and I'm not sure about the logistics of that, so I'll let everybody know. And also look out for the link on Thursday, not associated with HoN. Shrek, Get in My Swamp, an ogre love story book discussion with myself, Tara, Sheena, Cookie, and some others. So that's on Thursday night. 420, The Other Kind of Green.
It's a whole theme.
That's awesome.
So you know, there's something for everybody to smoke on Thursday.
Oh man. That's
awesome.
Awesome.
Drop the mic on that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's perfect right there.
Thanks for watching.
All right, bye everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Let me find the outro. If you guys want to kill time for a second.
No.
There we go.
Oh, this is fun.